Tell me when you're ready.
We're live.
Thank you. Okay.
Good morning.
Maraming salamat po.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, fellow trustees. Today is the 16th of August, Tuesday. I'm calling this meeting to order. This is the regular board meeting of the Board of Trustees at 11:45. Roll call. Trustee Black. Present.
Right here.
Trustee Rosie. Trustee Akiza.
Hi, present.
Trustee Rosie.
Yes.
Failed. Trustee Lu. Present. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a quorum. Approval of minutes of July 29th and a special session for July 2022. May I hear a motion to approve?
Only the July 29th. July 20th was already approved.
So
I
move.
make a motion to approve the July 29th minutes of the Board of Trustees.
Okay, motion by Trustee Ortiza, second by Trustee Rosie Tanatongo. Thank you, trustees. Calendar, take it away, CEO.
Yes. So the FY 2022 Grant Award Workshop and Conference, I've sent that information to you as well. It's tentatively scheduled for September 1st and 2nd. I already responded that we are going to be there. But they said they will email us with the details if it's going to be in service.
Recording in progress.
And then it's just informing us for the ACTE conference. This has we have the opportunity to attend the conference on November 30th to December 3rd. There's two options. I already forwarded to Ms. Vedette the price quotations for the registration for members and non-members because we are members also.
Yeah, we are EIN. We are an educational institution members. So you are entitled to two free sessions, I think.
Yes, but unfortunately, this conference is not for free. Only discounted for the members.
Okay, that's good enough. Still they have something that we can benefit from. But I tell you, the ACT conference is really a wealth of information on anything on career and technical education. That's why we encourage our members, us, and our especially Trustee Lu, who's really on top of all the issues on career and technical education. Yes. And who will be your CTE guy?
It will be Mr. Frankie Castro as the curriculum coordinator. And as a representative of the board will be Ms. Lu. Yeah.
Wonderful.
We'll see if we can still send an additional person based on the budget.
Okay.
Yeah. But definitely it's a fiscal budget, so we can look into that.
For the record, I'm attending on behalf of my school. I'm also an institution member of educational institution member of the ACTE. So I'll be there with my executive director. I'll be on a separate. But I want to coordinate the flights.
Yes.
My son-in-law is a cheapskate, so he'll get the lowest of the lowest that he can get for us. And knowing him, he's already working on my itinerary right now. A couple of people from CNMICT, Career Technical Education Director there, will be joining us also. I think Dr. Taylor will be there also. I don't know. We should really holler up on Joe Sanchez to attend it. This is his baby. This is something that Joe should go in together with the curriculum instruction director. We hosted her, Mrs. Kitchener, right? She was here also when we started doing the accreditation classes. So they will be there to attend also the ACT. So we're going to be a lot of good things that we can get out of the ACT with so just make sure we get all that paperwork on time. Okay?
Yes, definitely. For old business, federal grant update, Miss Jamie, you have the numbers. If you can help me out for ESF2 first.
Yes, one moment.
What is this in the background?
The kids.
It's the kids.
You should cut the noise to the meeting. But are they
Okay, so ESF2 total requisitions keyed in is 1,518,271.52. Total requisitions pending purchase orders is 583,644.35, which is about 39% of that. The rest, which have already been converted to purchase orders, equals 934,627.17. So there's a difference or the balance of 557,610.48.
And everybody knows that the ESF is expiring in September. So make sure that we cover, we put on our requisition.
Yes.
How much more balance to go? 500,000 more or 700,000?
557,000.
Already in for
557.
1,500, so it's just about 400,000 more to key in. But again, the requisitions that we put in is based on the actual cost on the whole, which is always lower than the budget projection. But how many items, basically the next question is how many more items that are not keyed in as requisitions. But I'm sure that we have entered mostly everything.
The projections.
And we have 400,000 more to go.
Yeah.
Yes, based on the cost only, because we're always under.
Yeah, because there's bulk buying with GDOE. So if you said $50 and then GDO does a bulk buy, they're gonna get it for $40. This reason your money would constantly be like, instead of going down, it would just always gonna go back to what we thought was when disbursed or it's really committed for.
And
But let's finish the money. August, now September.
For example, for equipment, all of the items under the equipment budget have been keyed in, but we have a balance of 143,000.
yes.
And supplies mostly.
Yeah, there are items to consider that I forgot to bring up. That there are items on, for example, on subscription. That goes through DOE. So they have to key it in, and we have a portion because it's part of DOE. So meaning we don't have to key it in.
It's already there.
It's already
And they will
there,
get our
but they have
portion.
not gotten back to us as to how much was allotted for us.
Yes,
for our
yes.
school.
They're very slow, but
Yeah.
you know, it's okay
So-
because they're also busy.
All in all, we're meeting all of these based on what we have. We're on schedule for September or on September.
Yes. 95% would be. There will always be a balance,
But I
but
just want to make sure that we made the effort to meet the timeline or so
so
that's
all the items that we need to input are keyed in.
Oh, okay,
So
that's good.
it's
So
a
it's
matter of
It's not us, but them.
not yes.
But them.
It's or the difference of the actual pricing or the
How
cost.
often do you?
I have a question, Madam Chair.
Go ahead, you have the floor. Sorry. Let's see.
We will.
With the CEO, what
Yes.
about the 557? Aren't you having some sort of plan as to how you're going to spend it? Or
Again, most of them are because we already used it up. It was already allotted to us, but they have not given us the exact amount that went to us. Because some of those, like for example, IFB, just for example, the sneeze guards itself, we inputted the requisition, but
Okay.
when they came back to us, they gathered all the orders of all the charter schools and the DOE schools so that they can get us the cost went down,
Yeah.
and then that's why when they gave it to us, we already received the items, but we couldn't put in exactly how much
Yeah. They
was
charge the account.
they charged us or
Uh.
what was given to us, but we already acquired all the supplies.
The important thing there is there's a cross matching of what you ordered and what came in.
Yeah.
The money can be
Right,
reconciled.
Yeah.
So in our books, we show that you're less whatever that is until the reconciliation happens with the true amount is given to you by GDOE.
Okay, okay.
Disperse or order, and then make sure that all reconciles order and the inventory
Yes.
reconciled. Your money will be reconciled later on as they give you the right amount that must be charged from your.
Which happened already in ESF1
Yeah.
because we did not use up everything. But it was on ESF2. For example, we requested MacBook computers or iPads. In ESF1, we already maximized it. But because I said we have leftover money from ESF1 and it's identified there, so the balance basically they said, okay, you can request it and we'll get it from
Yes.
ESF.
I think the nice thing about it is we're tracking it, right?
Yeah.
And how often does that tracking take place?
We have a tracking system
The units, yeah.
that we put in. So we have an ongoing Google sheet that we converted the spreadsheet to track. So every time we receive any
We update.
supplies, one of us will have to go there and update that we received it. And then we improved it furthermore later on that if it was converted to PO, you have to put the notes.
So
and,
who reconciles all of these?
we always look into it and then we have
Who's
to.
the last one, right?
I'm the last
You're the
one
last
because
one,
I have to.
Okay, as long as
verify.
you have evidence.
I think the beginning and the end of the requisition goes to end, just to make sure that everything reconciles, right? These guys have to do all the
But
inventory.
they have to input and they key in and update it. So if I see that, I saw that this was already turned into PO, but it's not reflecting, then they have to go back.
Then you got what call it, second eye oversight.
And there's three of us basically
Yeah.
because they
Because
have
you guys
to.
carry a lot of volume of data. That's the thing.
So for ES1, right, were there any requisitions that were never acted upon as POs?
For ESF2?
One.
Oh, one definitely, but that was the time during.
Yeah,
It already expired. So
we missed some
cannot go back.
deadline on that for some of the monies that we should have earmarked for like training and stuff like that. So someone did not really was fast enough to earmark or encumber some of the monies for certain things. So we moved it to ESF2. So they were actually left over for the ESF1 that we were not
And
able
so
to
they
use.
went to.
No.
Not all of
That's
it.
already forfeited.
Fast, yeah. So
So that's
during
why-
that time, we have a different team that looks in
yes.
overseas. And when we miss that opportunity, I believe that's the time you assign me as the program coordinator and in
Yeah.
charge of
I did that because I didn't see any reconciling happening. And the inventories were here, there, and everywhere, so it's never reconciled. It's never tracked on a good record. Where when you have like surprise other than what happened last night, you never
Yeah.
find the book and the inventory
Never
together as
match.
reconciled. So now, when Mike left, Mike was in charge of the overall inputting all data. I think who's in charge now?
No,
No,
he
that
was
never-
never
it was never
part of
No, it was assigned to Mike during ESF1, thinking that Mike will do it, but no, it was never done, so, yeah. But anyway, ESF1 is reconciled fully
Yeah.
in time for the audit, so,
Good.
Yeah, but
So
we did not
I-
use up.
To the
yes.
penny. Yeah, but not your
But the
fault.
reconciliation is,
The time passed,
done by the
not your fault. Okay, let's move. ARP, where are we on the ARP? Any questions, Trustee?
Okay, so for AR,
Trustee Evlef, Trustee Rosie, any on the ESF1, ESF2 disbursement and current balances?
No, everything is clear.
Trustee Rosie, okay? Okay, thank you. Moving on, let's do the ARP.
Yes, Miss Amy.
Jackie, go ahead,
So
please.
ARP out of the total budget of 4,061,749, total requisitions keyed in is 534,568, and out of that, about 9,000 is converted into purchase orders. So the balance is 3.5 million, 3,527,181.
We still have a
You're giving
year.
me a headache.
No, we have
Your
a year.
We can do
Your
this.
4 million is only half a million. It's only 500 something thousand disbursed. We have 3 point something million on the ballot. Cannot spend enough. Cannot finish it enough. But anyway,
Still be up to
same thing, tracking, reconciliation accounts. Where are we? Where are we going to use the rest of the balance? Because that's not due until next year. 2023 is when it expires, right?
Just to share with you too, which I always miss. During the time that, for ESF2, we just started on ARP. Every quarter, we're supposed to do a survey to the stakeholders and the benefit, and we have to
What they
do
need,
a
yeah.
report on the summary report.
Yes.
So the last quarter, when the funds are still under FCD, Ms. Shannon, our state officer, inquired and asked, because USDOE saw that our report, they said we have our own tracking system, and they asked me to send them a copy of how we monitor it. And they even wanted to come here to see, because I actually got down all our steps how to do that, because I said
We became
Amazing.
we shared with them that it's a
Amazing.
challenge, but we were able to come up with a system.
So did they, how come they never showed up? We wanted
That
them to show
time,
up.
yes, we were waiting, but then that time, no, actually, it was just recently when they turned over FED, all the grants to, when we had our
Oh, to
superintendent,
Mr. Cooper.
Mr. Francis Franklin. So now ESF2 and ARP are not under Mr. Isaac
Right.
anymore.
So is the communication, is the communication there between that and the
In the
office of
Yes.
Mr.
in the process.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the first
Transition.
item I would say that is we're following up with them is the transitioning is the summer program. So I inquired where are we at the summer program stipends, and now all the documentations that we submitted to FED will now be transitioned to the new team. And I'm getting ourselves familiarized with the team who's doing it.
Who's your contact for the new team?
Christine Rosario.
Oh,
Christine Rosario, and then there's one more. I just CC all of them because so that they
Christine,
but basically Christine is like our Shannon.
Yeah.
She's good.
And they're really looking into everything. Although we submitted all our paperwork documentation, now it's transitioned to them, so it will take a bit longer for them to. So I'm confident that with the way we're doing our monitoring system and with our new IT computer technician on board who started Monday. His name is Ryan Singh. Then we can coordinate with him and help us out with the monitoring of the devices.
How about the one that the grades? What do you call it, the one that the manager always mentions, the program? Yeah, is he gonna be in handling?
Oh no, that's he's more of the hardware.
Oh,
and,
okay.
This you guys.
Yes,
That's what
he
we
started
did.
Monday.
That's what Ricky was. Ricky was both hardware and software.
Software.
So Anne already understood the software.
Yeah.
The software engagement of what GAX is all about. Totally, it's not much really, but it's really the hardware that you need to be protected all the time. Make sure that you have enough, Mbps coming in, so there are no drop connections, etc., etc. So wiring and whatever, you really need somebody like that. Our
Especially
staff
with the new
cannot do that, right?
Yes.
If you go to the new school, they're already familiar with,
Yeah.
there's going to be hard wiring for cyber attacks. There's all kinds of stuff. These guys have to be familiar with all those things.
Yeah.
So I hope, I haven't seen his resume. I hope
He's very good. Actually, yesterday, his first day, his first assignment was to connect all of the phone lines because the construction is just done.
No,
So
no,
I said,
I wanted to walk. We have invested 38,000 off the Avaya line since the time we opened up the school. And that is the most wonderful system that you can have right now, more than Docomo, more than anybody else, right? Avaya is really it.
And
In terms of your interconnection within the classroom, you can call Cinemite, stateside without added cost.
Yeah.
But it's a very good system that we have actually bought and invested during the time of Dr. Wiggins. Make use of that,
Yes,
because
very
especially Gax is on attack. You guys have to know how to be able to really interconnect and empower each other. Make sure that everybody's aware of how to use and network that system.
yeah,
I tell you, it's a wonderful. I use that from ever since I think the past 100 years. This is the reason why I can operate easy with Manila and Cinemite and US without paying additional costs. It's a wonderful system that we have. I hope now that we have somebody who can dedicate this time in really navigating how much more we can use Avaya, we really have to do that, because that's the money. Because we spend so much money on that one, and we charge how much every month for that one? Akano?
Total of 1.5. Avaya is 1.5.
1.5 for any amount of lines you have. 1,500 for any month. So we have the big classroom, transfer to the big facility that we're gonna have. They're still paying 1.5. Wow. You will have like 20 or 50 more classrooms using Avaya. That's all. That's all you pay, only one line.
so he actually started yesterday using it because
So you made it connect all.
Di ba mo lang walang takiyang ano?
the new office, the newly constructed, because we had him do add 5 additional lines because we separated.
I can trust it.
You not you got a question?
You have a question, sir? No.
Okay.
We're good, sir. Thank you. Go ahead.
And then one last on the ARP, we were informed that the 5,000 from GDOE, they use on the article. There's an article that the 5,000 given to the staff came from ARP. So Miss Helen already emailed the acting superintendent and asked if we can use the remaining of our ARP funding for that. So we are just,
What is the 5,000?
the GDOE
Non-teaching. Not a teacher,
the 20% is
The
what the
teachers.
governor approved
for the
Yeah.
teachers.
for the teachers.
Yes.
And then for the
15%.
general,
15% for school administrators.
yes.
Oh, so what's the role of GAX there? We're not on GDO budget anymore.
Yes, but if they said that the 5,000 given to
Right.
the non-professional or the
Federally
non-teaching
funded.
was federally funded, the funds that they used is from ARP, then we should be able to use our ARP
Okay,
monies
yeah.
also.
Well, okay, I think somebody had to
They
really.
get the approval of the USDOE. They got
Okay,
the approval.
So, knowing that now, that's still bank on your ARP. Can we start moving that and use that accordingly?
So Ms. Helen already represented the charter schools and wrote a
Check your
letter.
ARP language, because if that incorporates some of that, then you along that like it's not, right?
Oh, it's
See,
not.
you're gonna have to be very careful, because what do apply with GDO does not necessarily apply to us. Although we're component units of government, but on some particular programs, we are only given much like your money is much like the other money submitted to the other private school and other non-profit organization. So you want to be able to get some exemption with that, so we can use that money specifically to make sure that our teachers get that same thing with what they have given. But what will be what would be, you gotta put a good narrative on that and present it to maybe the governor, and then just to make sure that
Yes, and that was
utilize
already initiated by.
We're still waiting for the appointment.
No, there's an appointment that got canceled, the 17th, but they didn't want, I was asking for an appointment for somebody. And that appointment was canceled, so I said, can we go in there? But I don't think they have, they have already earmarked that. But I'm still working with Ms. Popino on that one.
Okay.
Yeah. So she goes, can I talk to you about the appointment on the 17th? So I guess we're not gonna be able to get that.
But the reason for requesting the same, if it could be done, it could be redirected to ARP is because all the charter school DOE, we are only using a certain percentage for ARP goals. So if ARP goals are exactly the same for all the schools, whether GDOE, non-private or private.
So
If they were able to get approval to somehow a portion of it to use for the the support staff, then we should be able. It's just like basically asking, how were you able to do it?
So you should be able to go then to the federal programs people, because if they're able that, you don't even have to go to the governor, because if they're able to use it under the federal program, we should be able to use it.
Yeah, that's why the
So we
letter.
go back to
We still need to address the teachers.
Yes,
This
but-
only, this 5,000 is only for the non-teaching person.
No, it doesn't
But
matter,
then-
but it's the use of funds. So if you're using funds like what DOE have done, you have to go back to the federal program and say,
Yes,
if you
but
guys were allowed, why can't we?
Yes, that's why I'm sharing with you that we already started, initiated. We
Yeah.
did not go to the governor, but we
Yeah.
went to the super. The
Yes, yes.
acting now, because it, again, ARP is not
They
under
was-
FTD anymore. So we had to direct that line, that question or that request
Yeah.
to
Say it again, ARP is not what?
under FTD anymore. ESF, everything is now transitioned to
The local money?
No, the head, it's no longer.
Oh, yeah, I know the switch now. It goes directly to instead of it comes to Frank.
So we didn't-
It's still on the same note. We're not talking players here now. We're talking about the usage of funds.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter where it goes. But if they're able to use it for the same money and you're able to use it for certain purpose allowed, how was it allowed? Obviously, even if the new players like the new Frank Cooper Nurse see that you have used that, same thing. It's the same vein, it's the same thought, right?
Yes, and the same, that's why I'm just sharing that that's what we did.
Okay.
And we did not go to them just on isolation, but it is more of a, we
In
represent
general.
the
It's in
charter
general,
schools
yeah.
are asking, because the three charter schools have ARP, except
Yeah.
for the one at Angus, for the
CCTV.
charter schools, they're not, they don't have, so the three schools come, and then we actually CC'd the council as well. Because
What?
we're just
The council?
hoping that the council would follow up and represent
Because
us.
that's the part of the organization.
The authorizers. Okay, so we've done our part. We've done our share to make sure that we are aligned with the way the ARP is spent. At the same time, we want to be able to send our reason also why we like to be able to use the same funding. For the same reason the video did it. Okay.
Yes,
So who sent the correspondence to
Ms. Helen and CCing
the other
council.
chart?
Can we get a copy as a board of what that looks like?
Yes,
I think we were able to get that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think,
It was CC to us.
yeah,
But CC, one more time.
yes,
You don't
definitely, yes.
Okay, moving on. Go ahead.
Are we okay with the ARP now?
Yes, yes, okay now. Just keep in mind that, just keep in mind that those are the things that, we wanted to, whatever as long as we're still in compliance and we are using all within the provisions of what ARP funding is all that's supposed to be.
Modular classrooms repair and maintenance. Major repairs was already completed on August 9 in time to open for
Wow.
the school. We had to use local funds for urgent items, just like doorknobs and everything for all those. But definitely we completed them, the major ones that we needed. Building CDE repairs and partitions also. The project was turned over to us on August 5th.
Nice.
It's just a matter of cleaning up the new admin office where our principal and assistant principal will be located. Since yesterday, our new computer technician already finished the setup of all the phone lines and everything, the copier machine. We're expecting to open it up tomorrow, starting tomorrow, where all the staff and the teachers will sign in. Because they have been signing.
Yeah, okay. Let me remind you, a while back when I suggested to Ricky that we should have to have all our phone directories copied to everybody, just so everybody knows who to call extension-wise, right?
Yes.
We gotta have a fresh one, since that is probably phones and extensions are rerouted. All of those are direct lines, by the way. All of our phones here are on a 475 or 734 prefixes. None of those are like extensions only, but you can still move it to one extension after another. Those are dedicated phone lines that you can use directly on within the school. So let's get a new directory of phone numbers and extensions, just so we will know. Just like I have to call all the time at the front office, like enrollment, right? I have to say, oh, that's for Miss Ressa. Then if you don't Miss Ressa, we can go directly with Miss Ressa. No, CC probably just see, oh, Miss Ressa, this is so and so enrolled, or so is inquiring whether you still have an opening for grade 1. So we will know, because everything is centralized here. Oh, it's not anymore that good. Sometimes we can have people that are also responsible to their, like HR, we can call her directly. I have to call here. Can you call Miss HR? Can you tell, there's going to be some phone protocols that we need to have in place now that our lines will hopefully be taken care of.
Yes,
Because our lines are really malfunctioned for the longest time.
So, but that time that
parents were complaining.
Yeah.
But they were calling lines and nobody was answering.
That time though, that was addressed right away because you got the updated extensions from me. I had to send it to the board and we fixed and redirected all the lines.
Yeah.
So that the first one is going, and we actually just discovered like recently, right, that we have 4 different lines actually, not just the 1065 and 1066. Because when I was reviewing, I saw one of the documentation of former CAO, and there's one line dedicated to her. So when I saw that, I said, Miss Badette, can you please look into this? And we've been paying for it, but actually no one ever looked to
So the CEO should have her own dedicated line that can transfer everywhere. Nobody answers that but herself or a secretary.
Yes.
And that doesn't get feed to anybody.
So that's fixed.
And then you have also your direct line for your accountant. And then I don't know the other 2 lines. Maybe the principals, right? Those should be all the 4 dedicated lines. And they should be able to transfer Maseman, right? Wherever. So that's how wonderful the wireline system is.
But it was fixed already on June before we left.
So now then you have to publish all the direct lines to the CEO, to the principal, to everybody, to the accountant, and those should serve some very good purpose at the end.
And the telephone operator.
Yeah.
See, that's exactly what's happening. But you correct that.
When I call Miss B, it doesn't go to you anymore, right?
No more. We fixed it because the 1067 is the one.
I was very impressed. I saw on a school website the actual picture of the teachers with their name, with their email address, with their contact number.
You saw it? We have that.
On our website?
Yes, ever since. Yeah, even the board. So I shared with you a few. That was one of our projects, and we have updated.
You go to our website. Our website is
The website.
Wonderful.
I even shared with you that the looks of it is
That-
different,
that's
but
wonderful.
everything is
Yeah, that's why I
there.
really just said that. Let me check me if I'm here.
And it's there, and it's always updated.
Okay.
That's the key word, updated.
Okay, moving on, go ahead.
So CD repairs and partitions is done,
I
and
wanna see that, I wanna see how it looks now.
yes,
Is it really cleaned up?
Yes.
When I went there, dusty and all that, I couldn't really see where things should go. But now maybe I better.
Yes, if you can.
Yeah, yeah.
I can bring you and make you a
Yeah.
tour.
Is
You can-
HA out now? No,
Not yet. So I requested for her to move this week because everything is done already, especially the lines are up. You can also, if you have the time, extra time, revisit the cafeteria where the employee lounge is
Yeah,
at. And
yeah.
it's
I-
already
that's one-
completely done as
Because
well.
before, employee lounge is right here. We used to have a mini employee lounge here or something, but now it's nice. I like that. Because that's actually, it's very good to have an employee lounge where the lounge, where the employees would actually be able to kind of like inspire themselves as to like what they need to do during the time when they're on break, right?
Yes.
Something more conducive to like really a break during the
Especially
time.
this school year because we have an extra senior class, which means that during their prep time, they have to leave their classroom because someone else is using it.
Yeah.
So to address that,
You use
during
that.
their prep time, they can go to the lounge and
Yeah.
have their private time.
Wonderful.
The air console already installed as well, so it's fully functional as of Tuesday.
Okay, let's go to the accreditation and the domain.
You mean to say that all the classrooms,
I'm sorry?
all the classrooms are fully air conditioned?
Yes.
Or did I
Yes.
hear you clear?
Always.
Yeah.
been.
Yes,
Always
all the classrooms are definitely fully air conditioned. Also with the new construction, we had it also.
Such spoiled kids.
Great. Glad to know that.
Yes. Yeah.
So the next one is GFD inspection. We're going somewhere now because Fortec engineer will actually began they actually
Inspection.
began their inspection. So I'm very excited for this to report to you that finally Fortec is the one sending the people.
Heading the pack. Yes.
Yes, and they already started. They even
Who's gonna do that?
actually volunteered. The engineer of Fortec actually said that they will start the updating all the
Because that's really something that they have to take the lead on because
It's
for
their
one thing, this
building.
is their facility. If this is not in compliance with GFT, it really affects some of the safety issues of the students. So they need really to address that.
Yeah, and they already have their keys as well, and the engineer promised that they will be coming in on non-school days to
Yeah.
start it.
Yes.
So
that's
we're
great.
moving forward, and I gave them a copy, the specific engineer of the copy of the initial assessment of how to be compliant, because these are this is their property, so it's really under their discretion and supervision to update. Accreditation endowment group leadership meeting was Thursdays over the summer. But this year we have a new schedule now that we agreed on. Leadership meeting will be every Monday.
This is Thursday here.
Yes, because this is the last one during the summer.
Okay.
So for this school year, which we just
So you're changing it now?
yes, Monday.
What
for
time?
All the meetings is 2:30 to 3:30
Great.
because we
Wow.
already are dismissed.
Yeah. Very
Faculty
good.
meetings is first Tuesdays. The main meetings will be every Wednesdays. We don't miss. And every first Friday is already scheduled for professional development. And on the Fridays that we don't have, we meet with the community resource people to make sure that we are moving forward with the accreditation process.
So you're
tomorrow-
all welcome to join us on Fridays at 10:30.
Yes. But every Wednesday as well, which is all the
Oh, the
all
domain.
the faculty and staff
Yeah.
are in their domains.
That's every
Leadership,
first Friday.
every Wednesday.
But no, the all the domain is every first Friday, you said?
No,
No,
domain
that's
is
domain
Wednesday.
meeting is
Oh,
Wednesdays.
every Wednesday.
First Friday is the
PD is the every first Friday, which is already pre scheduled in our year calendar.
So in all of these meetings, we're still meeting the timeline of the accreditation, right?
Yes, definitely. It's like actually double time.
Yeah, are we uploading information to Continent?
Yes, actually, we were able to, Miss Sanchez over the summer was able to do some Elliott observations, which are directly being uploaded in the in Continent. We had our leadership meeting yesterday, our first for the school year, and we already identified the surveys that we have to pass out again to get that updated. So we're first going to send out the culture survey for all the students. So the board will expect that we will give surveys as well.
Good. We look forward to that.
Yes.
Okay, so next item, any question, Trustee Yavla? Trustee Rosie?
No question.
Trustee Yavla? You good?
Yeah, I was just wondering about the pocket group members, or what do you call those for the
Pocket group.
accreditation?
I don't think they really have, they still have pocket groups?
Yeah, are they still active as they used to do?
Yes, the pocket group was meant for those who are either way advanced or
Falling down.
falling behind.
Falling behind. I haven't, it's very true because we haven't heard about any cases of the pocket group. So I don't even, we don't even know whether that was abolished without the board knowing it because
Falling down.
that was created a while back.
Yeah.
And really, the strength of it is it's almost like an early intervention for students that are able to cut it at a certain stage. You're able to analyze it and assist them. For those that are advancing, it wasn't done for many years, and so you have a lot of parents and students that are bored because they have certain grade, a certain level of their brain, and they're not moving forward,
Yes.
and instead being retained, and that really makes it very difficult for both parents and children. But now it's back.
Yeah, actually, what I'm trying to say, I just want to make sure that everybody is moving.
Go ahead.
Yes, so pocket group right now, we don't really use the word pocket group, but there are still group of students who has to stay with their one-to-one teacher to address needs.
Yeah.
And for the advanced ones, what we did is to align all the schedule for both elementary and middle school to high school, where their DI will be all in the
We can hear
morning.
your conversation.
Yeah, can we hear that?
Good.
Okay, Trustee Rosie here.
So that
Can you hear us?
when a student
Thank you.
can be moved to another level,
Thank you.
that there's a teacher available to move to.
Very nice. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he adjusted the schedule as well, not just the pocket
So-
group itself.
Okay, so we still call them pocket group.
Yes, but pocket group should not be mistaken as
That's
just
true.
for,
Yeah.
it's
Remedial.
for both,
Yeah.
for both
Yeah,
advanced.
not shepherd slow and then someone going down.
Yes, we don't want to.
Yeah. I think the word, we have to be very careful on the word that we use because,
Yes.
you don't want to connote certain portion of our student population, certain part of our student population as this or as that. So I think, so how do you call them now?
It's still pocket group, but we merge them into the classroom
okay.
as much as possible.
Okay, before we used to isolate, right?
Okay,
Before we
okay.
used to isolate. Any more questions,
Good.
Trustee Rosie? Trustee Al? And just about Trustee Avila? Yes, sir?
Thank you. No.
The pocketbook.
No, that's not
Sorry.
possible.
Sorry. Okay, teachers
Teacher
evaluation.
evaluation, so this is for review by admin because the last evaluation for teachers was developed. Yes, definitely. Yes. So, was developed and how do I say it? I just wrote it for us. So for the last collaboration was from the deans at that time. So we have to revisit again, especially with when we had the lesson planning and the goal of improving our teachers. So we had to sit down again to revisit. And at the same time, as I mentioned with Ms. Lu, not just the evaluation for the teachers, which is called the PTEP, but also for all the other support staff and even the administrators. So we have to sit down and refine.
The form have to be done properly.
Yes.
We need to recall and we need to re-evaluate some of the evaluation form that did not complete. Some of them are missing evidence part of it. So it's really a very good form. But somehow the accredited, some of the evaluation was done very, very incompletely. Aside from things, actually, the word to be really not incomplete, but really sloppy. But it has to be completed just so you have a true, we do not see the true picture of this teacher's performance. With the picture form, we're able to see really where these guys are weak, where the strengths of these people are. Unfortunately, some of this form did not really well describe some of the performance of these teachers. So we give them evaluation, we give them increment, we did give them this, based on the evaluation. So make it a point that this form is completed and supported by, if they said the evidence is saying this person is this and that on the classroom, that this is well supported, right? But from the review that I did on some of the evaluation was really missing a lot of good information on it that would tell us that we're really these teachers are really performing their job, right? It's really lacking all of that.
General.
Yeah, and some of them just didn't get filled out. So why? So let's change it. Okay, I maybe just to do as our committee chair, we can say, okay, master, because the rest are okay. We cannot be recalling that after all the evaluation was done in a very sloppy manner, right? So I wanted to make sure that from here on, we do the pizza properly, the form properly, and if it's incomplete, then not give it to us. Don't give it to the CEO. You should be the first one that should review that before it comes to the board. Right?
So Anne and I and Ken are going to look at that, but I don't know, work closely with her on the school leaders evaluation. That evaluation will be based on school leadership standards.
Yes.
So here's what you can all look forward to. It's a process. So we go through that process whereby for each standard, the school leaders have to provide evidence to show whether or not they're meeting the standard.
Yes.
Every one of the board will have their time allotted to review all the standards and the evidence. And then everyone will have to participate in the final evaluation process.
Yes.
So it's like how we are doing it also on federal grants. It's based on deliverables.
Yes.
That's the one.
There's
So it's measurable.
measurables and
That's
deliverables are very important.
But that's what we're going to be doing now. That
So-
would require the board's approval. So we're getting there. We're getting there.
So your source is based on the leadership standard. That's where your
That's right.
compliance
That's
issue
right.
come up.
Yep.
And then that's where you come out with your measurable.
And it covers everything from finances, student personnel, community leaders, communication with parents and all of that. So, yeah. So
It's
it's a
about time.
process.
It's about time. I think we should. It's about time we approach this differently.
Yeah.
Because we're not gonna keep people here that are not performing are just like same old attitude, but it takes really the leadership to be able to change that, to change that kind of environment in their mind and in their head. Oh, I just have to be close to so and so, and it's already okay. I'm okay. There's no such thing. It's really all about performance. It's not about who you know and who you know within the leadership of the school. Because if that becomes a common denominator, then we're really gonna be shortchanging our kids, right? Because your performance doesn't really the best performance, but because you just seem to be someone's favorite or someone's or within the board or within the leadership, the other leadership, then it becomes very biased in so many ways. Bottom line is you're hurting the kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think there's no accountability.
That is the word. Yeah, that is really the word that we're looking
So
for.
the beauty about this evaluation is that you have to show the evidence. So when you as a board member, us as board members, review the evidence, we can actually tell to what extent this particular standard is being met. If it's just, I attended the Guahan Academy Charter School showcase at the mall. You just attended.
When you're
What
standing up,
did you
what did you
do? No, what did you do to help
Yeah.
in the preparation of that showcase at the mall?
Yeah.
Not just
The
I.
Oh, I
deliverables.
saw them.
Yeah, I saw
The
the
engagement.
Yeah.
No,
the
engage.
The
Yeah.
engagement
So
is very
that's their
important.
evidence that they showed up.
Engagement
Yeah.
and
But
involvement.
it's the
Yeah.
quality
Yeah.
is what we're striving for. So yes, we're working on that. Just give us time.
Yes, thank you. And it will be reported to our cabinet too, that we're not
Yes.
just working on the teachers.
Yes.
We're also
School
working
leaders.
on the staff, but also the school leaders, because it has to be all aligned.
Madam Chair, I have a concern.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
don't forget, when we're evaluating the teachers out in the classroom, we do observation to make sure that they are following the standards. We can't just evaluate without observing the teachers.
That's the evidence part. That's why we're trying to say that if you tell me this is the evidence that you said this, there's a further verification on that, and it should probably come from not necessarily from the board members, but I think that the CEO should be able to really play a big role in that, because if you send me to the classroom, I wouldn't know what to observe.
Yes, so it has to be logged by the principal and assistant
No,
principal to
but-
make sure that.
It's not
Exactly.
only,
It has to be the principal and the assistant principal.
Yeah,
it's not only observing the teacher. You have to align the observation with their lesson plan.
Yeah,
Exactly, with the lesson plan. And that's why we, the board, will not be able to determine that. It's gonna be the principal that is, or the person that's evaluating them.
yes, yeah, I believe, yeah.
Yes, agree, ma'am. And that's why it's again for review by administration, which basically means that I would have to step in and make sure that we refine more the PTEP that was developed during the dean's time.
Yes. That's fine, but we don't have to follow all of it. We can tweak the feature into our standard rather than GDOE, then, there's a different molding. But, there's do not reinvent anything more on that thing, but certainly you gotta be able to look at it in how we operate and how our policies affect the so-called form that we're using for evaluation.
Yeah,
Because-
Madam Chair.
Yeah,
Madam
there
Chair.
might not be public.
Yeah,
Right?
along the same line of discussion, I just want to make sure that the forms reflect the right signatures or signatories of person like the principal and whoever, that CEO, and not those that are not. I just want to make sure we are consistent,
Yes,
because sometimes I think before, like in finance area, it may probably be just require those that are involved in, like the evaluation of the CEO. It should be the board,
yes.
and the classroom teachers are the principals and the CEO herself.
Yes, noted, sir. We'll make sure that everything is aligned and there's procedures basically to follow
Yes.
and observe.
Yes,
and
yes.
we'll update you again when we have come up with the updated and fine-tuned PDEF.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, CEO.
Next in our agenda is the SOP or the faculty sick and personal leave, which was approved and disseminated to the faculty during the pre-service training on August 1st. I sent you the agenda and they were very happy, and most of them were really saying that please extend our gratitude to the board for approving this and listening and hearing their concerns.
So it was clear and articulate on the leave types of leave forms and all that. That they had issues in the past.
Yes. And then
And
appreciate
and-
how it was increased. Yes, sir.
and productivity is expected too.
Productivity is expected.
Yes, definitely. And that's actually the message of that day one of the orientation or the professional development, the purpose of why we all are here at GAS.
Right.
So we get something from the board or from the management, but of course we have to serve our purpose as well.
Yeah.
It's a give and take relationship. We are sensitive to their needs, but they have to perform too, because they have to go back and realize that we're here not just for the money, because our purpose as educators is not just for the money. And it's more of a calling and a vocation, and it's very clear to everyone that they're excited and they're happy. They have something to look forward to, and it was really emphasized that we value the every educator, but of course it will translate and manifest to our students. If we have high expectations from our students, we also have high expectations from our faculty and teachers.
Absolutely.
And that has to always,
It's a domino effect.
yeah, it's a cycle.
And high expectations from the CEO.
Oh, yeah.
Which leads to all
Yeah,
accountability.
I think that's just what it is. It's really a check and balance amongst us, right? Because if they're expecting so much from the board, I should be expecting also the same hard work
Yeah.
with the leadership that we have here, the CEO, the principal and vice principal. We cannot just be putting all the hard work. At the end of the day, it's really a combined effort of everybody, including our teachers, including our employees, and the support staff.
And all the board.
Yeah, because if you do not have the support
And
staff-
all the parents.
yeah, and all the parents as well. We have all the major
Stakeholders.
the stakeholders that needs to come in to make GATS really the best charter school institution. We really are.
Yeah.
I'm always so proud to go out there in the community and tell them how the school environment here in GATS is so much different from you can compare us, right? And I think that's the belief that I have. That's why I tend to make time as trustee here. I tend to really be able to offer my time and support. The same thing with Trustee Hebler, Trustee Al, and Trustee Rosie. And all of these are total commitment from us. So what is this total commitment? The people that are here day to day are not really knowing that, or really not even appreciating that. Or even at the end of the day also does not really want to work within certain standards for school. I mean, it really defeats. I always see that the bottom line will be the children. I'm more concerned about the children getting the best of what we can give them. And everywhere you go. I was talking to some of the charter schools back in Seattle, and they said they're going through the same challenges that they have, like we have, right? Some of them are not even accredited. Funding is a bigger issue, right? But thank God over there's a lot of help that they get, but not informed.
Yeah.
So knowing that, it's really
That's what I was talking about when you were videotaping me. How accreditation really is like a roadmap
yeah,
that covers all aspects of the school operation.
exactly. Exactly. When you are when you are a credit school, it's a different. It's a community look at you differently, and we really have to stress that upon our employees, stress it upon the community because hey, it didn't happen just like that. We didn't happen because we have really faced this. It really happened because of the hard work of everybody. You know?
And everyone is involved.
It really happened because there's a lot of hard work that went to it. And there's also the vision of the leadership that came along with it. That they really want us. They really want this school accredited. So this is the reason probably why enrollment is getting high. Thanks to you, Pastor.
We actually have which leads us to just sharing with you that right now we have a full classroom of wait list for kindergarten. We couldn't open the third class of kindergarten
There's no more classrooms.
because we don't have any more classrooms.
How about here?
Yeah, I thought of opening up the LRC and making it a
Yes,
classroom, but right now we have all the books that are there. That's my second option. The goal is to free that before September so that we can call and open the third class, the third.
So that will give us a total student of how many?
We're still on 750, 760, but again, with that, there's
760. Okay, let me ask again. What's ADA as we talked about as we ask you now? What's your average daily attendance?
750.
750, inclusive. Okay. How about the wait list? How much wait list do you have?
We have 25.
So that will bring you up to about 770, right? So we've been reporting 760, so pretty much on 770 threshold. So I know we can manage that with a budget, because we're just gonna increase the food requirement, right? Since we're feeding about 80-90% of our students. So that's the only consideration. Otherwise, you pay the same teachers the same amount in a certain classroom. I don't know if it's going to require additional money for those additional students. But as long as it's only the food budget that will probably slightly increase, then you can reprogram some of the monies to go there. As long as we're able to accommodate some of the students that are on the wait list.
So it's just like one classroom, and we're hoping that we commission.
No, I don't think those guys are about to move out. I don't think so.
They have IFB.
But they already have an IFB. Thank you. That because they really need to be specifically budgeted because the commission fee that tomorrow is very important for the community. They really have to have their own home, where they can really show all what the tomorrow people is all about. Very, very important component of our community. They should be first on the first. Did they get any ARP money? At least for facilities?
I'm not really sure. I don't think.
I think that's the reason why they have IFB. I don't know. They have.
They've been funded. Because I'm quite sure that's the reason why they were able to look at it. Anyway, I wish them all the best.
Hope and pray too that we have that one room.
But that's not gonna happen soon. But anyway, let's move on. Just okay. So we're clear on teacher evaluation.
Yes.
Somebody had to be done maybe with the leadership of the HR chair, and Ken already have already kind of like tweaking some of the requirements and some of the expectations when you do your evaluation. Okay. So I think also you need to visit also some of the positions that have what we call that needs to be that needs to kind of like maybe in black and white look at what are the expectations or what are really you have a basic requirement on what this position is all about, right? We don't have very much people here that it will take so much time to maybe through Jamie just to make sure that we really are, whatever we tell them as these are the expectations, I guess your duties and responsibilities and any other collateral duties that may be assigned to you is accepted, right? As soon as they sign off on their PARs, that it's clear that there might be additional work, there might be collateral duties that will be assigned to them. So as long as those are clear, I think we're not going to be able to kind of like get some grudges going because I was how come I have this, how come I have that, right? So as long as those are clear.
Yes, and we're happy to report to you that every position now we're trying to update their job description. Because that's in
Wonderful.
line. So
Wonderful.
we have already, I believe, 8, right, Miss Jamie? 8 already that we updated to make sure that the requirements are there, the minimum requirements, and the specific
Yes.
job duties are there
Yes.
and responsibilities.
Yes.
So with the new positions that we filled, they received the updated job
Yes.
description.
Only because you remember that these are probably from ever since we opened the school. That's 6 years ago. So those times we weren't clear on how we want people to come into GACs and what kind of expectations, what kind of performance we're expecting. As we grow older in our operation, I think those will have to be stipulated properly and clearly,
Yes.
so there's no confusion.
Yeah. And even we identify the difference between administrative clerk, administrative secretary. They all have the same function, but they have their duties
Legal
are delineated
right, yeah.
more specifically.
Wow,
I
that's
would like to
wonderful.
see this discussion expanded when it comes to my area.
Yes, definitely. And we'll give you
Yes.
every time we have
So
an
then
updated,
copies of the then and now, right? On how the revision happened and what we're being revised.
Several concerns that I have.
Oh,
So you're under new business now?
new business.
Now let's do the SOP on faculty and personal leave.
Oh, yeah, that's the one I shared
We
that we already
We already approved
this
it and it's already disseminated.
Okay,
to-
great,
during the
great,
faculty.
great. Okay, new business, Leader Grant, go ahead.
Yes. Before we left, you shared with me the opportunity from VIDA to apply for a grant, a maximum of, I believe, 30,000. So this was handed to Miss HA at that time to collaborate with Mr. Magnus, former assistant principal, to see how we can apply for it. What's that? I think 2 weeks ago, she received a notification that we did not qualify.
What was that grant about? I never.
Community.
Oh, the community grant. What did you guys ask for? Because I wait. That's under my committee. What did you guys apply for?
So we left with the recommendations of like painting or minor construction or minor upkeeping. But what they decided as a team during the summer was to get funds for the high school students to get what do you call this, for their tuition fee. That's what they submitted. Like
Tuition fee?
or funding for their schooling.
Tuition fee.
I'm sorry, please don't.
Because I didn't see this grant. This is directly under the committee block grant. It's
For
really
higher
direct-
education there. So it's funding for their higher education and they.
Oh, to transition from high school to
Yeah,
college?
so basically like funding for their.
Yeah, we want that.
Yeah. But this
That's
is what they
continuous. Because
came up
once
with.
you have one, what happened to the second year?
Yeah.
It-
The
it-
higher
be the
education
repair. It should be the
scholarship
repair.
of 2,500 and they,
How many did you ask? How much did you ask?
it's,
She-
with they
You should ask
asked
for
for,
this playground.
that's what we, I
You
actually
should ask
asked
for
for.
playground.
Or
Yeah.
repainting like murals because,
Or
comparing
murals,
it.
yeah. Murals, but this is not ours. So I think you should ask for something like, something for the children to be able, because you don't have playgrounds. So some playgrounds are pretty safe now. They would actually have covered floors. That
that's.
when we went to Seattle, there was this place that is actually a full playground. The kid can fall down and they would still be okay.
Yeah.
They're all.
We didn't ask that from this grant, but just to let you know, we asked that from ARP. So we're just waiting for.
Oh,
the
so you're gonna get
quotation.
it? Okay,
Yes.
make sure you get.
You're gonna get it, right?
okay?
We're gonna get it because it was there.
Is it the
Just
same
under-
as Harvest Christian?
Yeah.
Like what you said, that if you fall down, it's
Yeah.
safe?
Yeah,
So
that's
even the
how-
mulch,
yeah.
Then it's the same as
mulch
Harvest.
at the
Yeah, it's not mulches. It's actually
Like
they look like
Yeah.
they look like grass, but they're actually like the fake grass. So these kids could be climbing up whatever and then podong and then it still doesn't hurt them. Something for our younger kids
It was a
to come out.
under the ARP. It's
Yeah.
like a mobile playground.
Yes.
I put mobile so that we can bring it to our.
You know what we can do there is for our tomorrow group. Next time we do that, go for the group that they will pay that for like more for like the more for like for the cultural thing. Let Mr. LG do a program where they can fund that on a yearly basis. Focus on that because that's where the money can be approved. A lot of things will be continuous, right? So like Larry Grind said, we continuously pay 40,000 a year. The what is the grant that's the recycling thing?
Yeah.
We committed
But
like
this
40,000
is
a year.
we were still at the in DC when we followed it up with Miss HA on the status. I'm just reporting to you that
That one did not pass us. The end benefits.
Yeah, and it's like,
Yeah.
and it's gotta be
justifiable.
an impactful something that could really like even if it's a one-time thing, but something that could really be very very effective or had a long range of like impact to the community or to the person. Something a lot of beautiful grants that we this is why we
So
make
the writing of that is
Sayang.
Yeah.
Get more. There's more of this because remember this money comes in from all the QC that gets paid to do that,
Yeah.
and we distribute that to all the different
Right.
projects that we have there. So, say for example, your nonprofit organization would like to be able to do something cultural or something in
Something
language
unique.
or something something unique.
But
it will
beneficial.
fly.
Yeah, you got the needs and then you got the end benefits.
Yeah, the
That's
benefits.
what the one that you're trying to get. But that one
And then
didn't
the
have any.
outcomes are very important. What will be the outcome once you carry on
Yes.
put on this project? It's gotta be impactful.
There were 5 choices. That's why for the purpose of the grant,
Yeah.
they chose higher education. But
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
it could be higher education, but
that's what this is.
specifically for one
One
purpose.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Higher education on
Let's say
for
health,
yes,
for swing,
yeah,
for the kids'
or for
health.
construction,
Yeah,
or for
something like
super-
that.
yeah.
But there's end benefits to it.
It's too general. That's
Yeah.
why.
That's still gonna be. That's gonna go all. I think twice a year we give that. It's really directly under my committee. I'm the one. I wasn't the one that rated it. I have my staff rated that for me. So I knew I did good because I wasn't here. So my staff rated, but all in my BS because those fall under my committee. So we awarded several.
Yeah.
Some of them gets 25,000.
And they only chose, I believe,
10 or 11.
11,000
10.
instead of going.
Yeah, and
through
some of
the
them are
full
repeats,
25.
like the police, some company and some police personal association, they continuously ask for that.
Yeah.
So we continuously get that. Some of them are repeats, some of them are brand new. The mayors have plenty. I'm really benefited there, so some of them.
Because there's 5 options. Use the grant for cultural preservation.
Yeah,
That's the one
there
you're
is a-
saying.
And there's end benefits.
Public safety.
Even just to buy
Um,
things for our school, like for them to be able to get the drum or something. Something.
Economic development,
Because we're
healthcare,
nonprofit, that's why we can
healthcare,
go in.
and higher education. But
Yeah.
the team.
There's gonna be an impact.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
there's
but
more
I
money
just
coming
wanted
in.
to update
Yeah.
you where it,
Maybe
At
next
the
time.
playground.
yes, under the.
That's good vision because our kids are just, especially the small ones, are just roaming around for nothing, right? Okay, let's go.
CSP
CSP.
grant, this is, I shared with you during the special meeting before that there is this opportunity just available, 1.8 million, just for all the charter schools here on Guam. And most of the charter schools already are repeats, so they are encouraging more charter schools in the 50
Okay, you're
states
back,
and the
you're back.
territories.
The Territories have not didn't have any grants at all, right? They've never had one before. So they want us to apply.
To apply,
So
yes.
that's
So
good.
this is the collaboration of all the 4 charter schools.
Mhm.
And we looked at the criteria. The most that we can use is for leasing.
Yeah.
And that was in time for
For
the
the USDA coming in,
USDA
yeah.
as well. And
Yeah.
I was like thinking, because our term, our MOA will be
Yeah.
expiring. Maybe we have a secondary. Should we have to pay? Then we're covered already.
Okay, just look at the rules of engagement on the CSP grant, because this is only offered to the charter school. And we were blessed because we're able to get them there, to get over there and see them and actually be in touch with them and continue to dialogue with and look at all the parameters that we can use the funds if we could. Otherwise, we have the USDA grant coming our way. Which takes me to my point now that, we really need to get that application going. I saw your communications with Miss, what's her name? With Leslie.
Lenny.
With Lenny, so we can start moving that. You send them all the blueprints of what
Not yet,
was
yeah,
done?
because I want to see that's the good,
Yeah.
because it's not a good copy. I'm going to,
Where's the blue copy? Judy has that.
no, Attorney Trelahi has that. So I'm going to, I think I also have it in my drive.
Yeah,
When we
okay.
get everything, yeah.
Because
I'm going to-
we have a reduced one that we usually would meet about, and then maybe we don't need this and stuff. Those could be sent to Lenny. But the nitty-gritty and the details of that, and tell them all the studies that were done on the property, like the environmental impact, all those things are in place, unless they just need to update. That are all in the file. Because they're saying that maybe those things we need to just update. We don't have to do anything fresh on that one.
Yeah.
That's quite expensive. Okay, next item, CEO.
So, but just to finalize under CSP,
Yes.
it's not just the leasing, like basically making our facility updated to
Get her a
be
cup of coffee
safe
because she's falling asleep.
for our students.
Lago Cafe?
Coffee?
She doesn't want, or she's your only.
We're not, you're not supposed to be drinking coffee.
You could, I drink coffee. I had the thing and I had coffee. And I had rice.
Because it has acid.
I
We're not
don't have
supposed
acid issue.
We're
I
not
might be acidic, but
we're
not
not
there.
supposed
Look at her.
Yeah.
She's my teacher.
She's the
I have
coach.
coffee. Oh, good coffee.
Did you guys,
Already has
it's been
coffee.
playing. It's been raining, so we cannot
Okay.
film
Okay.
out of this question. Let's go.
Yeah. But anyway, so under the collaboration, the first year we may not be able to qualify just because when we submitted, we are still under the MOA, meaning we
Yes,
are.
He's in the building.
Yeah.
So what we did in collaboration with GDOE being the state representative, we are going to sign up for the first year for the buses. This is in line to when we submitted our plan, our 5-year goals for the 5 years of that funding here at GAPS. I included busing because we are dependent on DPW. But if we have our own, at least for the charter schools, then we don't have to wait long.
I dare you not. The liability insurance is pretty high.
Yeah.
That's always been my concern. That's why it's better to pull with the government of Guam because the exposure is not going to be as large. Can you afford the premium for a multi-million-dollar liability?
Yeah.
That's going to be required.
Yeah.
This is the reason why, from ever since, I never wanted to have our own bus. The liability is so big that you cannot really, you left closer to the school. It just requires a lot bigger liability insurance, and I don't think we can carry something like that. The government of Guam can do that.
Yeah.
So reroute that plan because
It is more of a collaboration. It's not just from us.
It doesn't
They
matter.
requested for that, and we just have to go
no,
along
no,
with.
no, no,
with
no,
the-
no. Believe me, the liability, not only the premium, but the liability as it is,
Yeah.
because it never ends. If a child was for some reason got all mangled up and cannot go, that's a forever and a lifetime liability that we need to be faced up with. So consider that, because I like to do that, but the practicality and the exposure that you're gonna have is really large. This is the reason why the private school does not even go to that
Yes.
as big as the academy. These guys still use a public school service because of they cannot afford the liability insurance. So keep that in mind, please. Okay.
Definitely, and this is something I
The
can
same-
bring up to
and they have
the
the
charter schools as well.
Yes, yes, yes. Better, even if you have the
1.2
biggest lawyer in town, if you're talking lives of the student and the continuous liability you have to incur because of whatever reason. I don't know about the bus. I don't think so. Thank you so
The
much.
third one is the sports facility.
Yes, that one is good.
may I?
So
like
it's
that.
to keep us, because our students
Right? Dr.
are.
Evelak?
We love sports facility, we
We
love.
don't have a
Sports,
gym
yeah.
or something,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
No,
we're
let me ask a question.
paying for the
Yes,
sports
it's
facility.
Evelak. Go ahead, Dr. Evelak, they have the floor. Go ahead, sir.
Regarding that bus services, what if the charter school council decides to do so? Shouldn't we be part of it? No, just out of the blue. I'm asking that. Wouldn't it be possible for the charter
We are
school
informed
council?
of all the ones that we indicated in the 5-year or the funding. They were informed, they are aware of what we have been putting in together, because it's more of like, it has to be consistent from all the charter schools so that it will go straight to DOE, being the state, the one
Mhm.
handling. And then it's just like consolidated grant. So DOE will get the funding, it will filter through them, and they will be the one distributing it to the 4 charter schools. So they are aware of that, because they were the first ones who we informed that we have this opportunity. And because the deadline for the submission was August 8th, we were just like plugging in whatever we
Okay.
need as a charter school.
So I think the question of Dr. Havelock is, what if the other charter school decided to go that way? Right?
Which
You
we
already,
did.
obviously you guys signed off on the application and went to the CSP and said, this is what we all want together, right? Give us at 1.8 million and do that, okay? So again, something to keep in mind is really the exposure and the risk that comes along with running a bus service. for
Right,
students.
right, right.
Remember, we're also island-wide. So the operations of that alone, on what it will take you to be able to maintain that on a day-to-day basis is really a lot. This is why sometimes the bus runs, sometimes they don't run, because they have a lot of those issues, like as far as like broken buses, no drivers, no nothing. That really impedes upon a lot of I think government should do that, not us. But it's something for you guys to think about, because certainly if it comes to the board, I'm not gonna vote on it.
Yeah, the reason why I brought that up,
Yes, go ahead. sir.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
the
sir.
reason why I brought that up is it could be a possibility that the governor may decide to, because I'm working on infrastructure funding. And one of the top priorities is bus,
Yes.
part of the infrastructure. And what if the governor decides to? Then I think we have to. Just thinking.
Well, be clear. What if the governor decides to what?
Support it.
To what?
Yeah, because infrastructure, bus is one
I
of the top
understand, but
priorities.
you're talking infrastructure for me is roadways and everything, which they really need, because the public bus system really does not.
Yeah,
That's not- that's
but
not
there
allowed
is
everywhere.
allocation of
But-
funds for bus services,
Bus service for the public, but not for the school.
not for the charter school.
Not for the
Right.
school. Not for the school.
Of course.
Not for the infrastructure service really needs the public bus system needs to be improved, because right now you need to extend your service now all over the island, but
Okay.
because gas is high, but we're talking about school bus service, which we said that the liability, the exposure that we will have to have as charter school, 3 or 4 charter school, cannot support the liability of, even if we're given money from the CSP, which is the big charter school organization.
Right.
So
Oh.
the day-to-day, the day-to-day expenses that we have, plus the possible liability, the risk that we need to absorb. Running a
Absolutely,
bus
yes.
service is much. We cannot afford that.
Or it's
Yeah,
not.
but the government can. Even the public bus, they can afford all the insurance, the risk exposure that they have. But I think the Ford charter school, I don't think so.
Not
Right?
enough.
Right, sir?
Not yet.
The
Yeah.
infrastructure needs to be improved because the bus service really sucks. I like to ride the bus instead of driving.
Oh, yeah.
Really, honestly, if the governor pushed that, that would be a win. Because right now it sucks.
Yeah.
It really sucks. You understand that, right? Really big problem right now. I'm gonna be doing driving school. Thank you, sir. Go ahead. Let's move on.
The third one is the cafeteria, the facility to support better facility for the cafeteria. So
I like that.
And then I supported it with our data that 87% of our population are and
Oh, okay.
free meals, and that's where actually our local funding goes to instead of our lease
Yeah.
because we shoulder.
Very good. Very good. Very.
That's
very
a
good.
justification.
No, you know, as a matter of fact, on Visa grant, you should ask for facilities for your kitchen.
That's
To
true.
upgrade, even just for
Yeah.
cooling your. Although you said you have a private vendor, but you have no food. You have no place to store the food to be served hot.
Yeah.
And and then
But
at the
we
end.
already, that's also under ARP.
Oh.
So that's already included. So I told Miss HA, don't go to that because it's already
That's it.
approved.
I can't say anything anymore.
There's a lot in the ERP.
Yeah.
And then they have benches galore.
Yeah.
They have chairs galore. And I don't even know where they're gonna put the chairs. Can I have some party in my house and borrow some chairs?
So that was brought up and I said, never mind.
They're so ahead, Trustee Rosie. They have so many things in our campus.
The story.
I know, really.
No storage though. So you can borrow it on the Molesto Fiesta. And we can
What we needed.
we just put gags at the back. So nobody kung di pati masakit. Kung di masakit, todo is
Another one that the charter schools agreed to.
Can we go back to the cafeteria?
Yes.
There, I don't know what school this was that I reached so much, right? But I thought it was a really neat idea. They would tell the kids, like fruits, right? That if they're not going to eat the fruits, to put it in a particular bin, then they wash them, then they bag them. So at the end of the school day, any kid who wants to pick up a bag of the fruit,
We did that already.
it didn't go away. So
We did it already because there are times that they send apples.
oh, that's
So
wonderful.
they don't take it in the breakfast, so
Yeah.
we don't tell them to throw it away.
Yeah, yeah,
They just
yeah.
return it to the styrofoam,
Nice,
and then we
nice.
bring it to SSO,
Yeah.
and then we bag it, and then
Yeah.
students would come
Yes.
in before they leave. They
Yes.
bring to their families.
Nice.
That is,
Even
I thought that
even
was a
either
really neat
Yeah.
idea. Maybe you and I were reading the same article.
And then they said they eat it during the bus trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's good.
If
They
it
have
ends,
no-
we have a lot of apple.
And
Yeah.
also,
So neat. Oh, I'm so happy
There's a
to
lot
hear
of apple
that.
trees for the
and
Very
also we kind of recycle. We call it recycle, but if it's good, especially if it passes the temperature holding of the food, we offer it to our sports because they have practices at the end. And we put them in the refrigerator at SSO so that they can come and get it.
And get
Especially
it.
our
Get
kids.
No child
And
left.
you know the
Yeah.
food and the food with this kind of vendor, I think kids really like it, right? In the past, there's so many to throw away. Oh my goodness.
Adobo to be
Hundreds.
If they want, Lemay can provide.
May I volunteer, sir? Can I have?
Lemay over here.
Yes.
That's very healthy, by the way.
Very good.
They like
The
lemon.
one you gave
Yes,
the
I'm gonna
cafe and I
make
tried it. It's
Oh,
so
We're
good.
gonna make some.
So please
Yeah,
don't
I'm
forget.
going there.
Oh,
And I signed up the first one.
I'll give it.
Okay, let's move
Yeah.
on. Carry on.
Another one is I forgot to write it down, but they also included I'm running out.
Canopies?
No,
Oh,
the power.
The
But we
power?
already have.
They
No,
give this good.
the one-
Oh, yeah. I know that. For the power
Solar.
conservation.
The solar lights.
Solar.
Oh, it's worth
The power.
Sorry. The solar system. So
But
that
these
was
are our
included
building.
because especially
Yeah,
even if
yeah.
it wasn't our
Yeah.
building,
But it's
right?
at our building.
But again, we don't know when we are gonna receive it. So what if we already are there?
But the vendor that we should be using should be able to move that to our next facility.
Yeah.
That's
The
the
few-
reason why we
The
still
few
include
vendors
it.
that I have checked, they told me that it's movable. So if I said, the problem is I want to be able to retrofit our building, our existing building, which we don't own, to a new facility, hopefully in 23, 24. I said, how would that be in terms of like moving it? I said, very easy. We just can move,
The
we can
one
move all of them.
the one we requested specifically because I know that the Cortec is already doing
Using
there,
them,
right?
yeah.
But the ones I basically submitted is for our modular rooms.
Yes.
Because when we bring it over, then we bring the solar
Yeah.
panels as
Yeah.
well with us.
Yeah, but this needs also one because this is
Probably
really,
because Protect's taking along.
this is
Mhm.
really, as a matter of fact, we should ask Cortec to make this on their own expenses,
It
to
is
make this solar.
They
solar
did,
They
there was a
already
guy who
sent
came,
Yeah.
inspected the
Yes,
building,
yes.
but it's through Protect.
Yeah, that's why I said push Cortec.
Yeah. So
Because
yeah.
the more you push Cortec, the less money you will pay for utilities, especially your GPA. Because right now you're averaging probably 12,000 right now per month, right? If you can cut that to 6,000, that would be very good. So this Cortec's not about to demolish this building. They would continuously use this for whatever purpose they need, but they need to have this thing solar panel now. Please ask them, and I think they will oblige.
Okay.
We'll just
Yeah.
follow up with
Just
them.
follow up, just tell them,
Because they already sent
They
their
already sent-
people.
Just tell them the four. You can put the four modular home at our expense could also be the receiving solar panel. It's not gonna put it on their
Consolidate.
purchase, so we will have to pay less, right? But and installation wise, all they have to do is install the installation and solar panel on that side. It's always cheap to go their way. Then you don't have to do requisition.
Yeah.
Because it's
Because
under
they're
them.
doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just
And
incorporate that.
that's the reason too why it's all under leasing because we're
Yes.
under their umbrella.
Yes,
So
yes.
all
Please
the
push
ones
that.
that
Para makatipid tayo because you still have a year or so to stay here. So if you can save that 5,000 a month on your power bill, that's a lot of money, right? Trustee Rose, that you can really reprogram to the kids' meals, right?
That's right.
Because you're gonna be short if you add up more enrollment, but your power keeps going up. Then that's gonna be really a big saving. Okay, let's move
one
on.
last that I included in our 5-year plan is the daycare facility.
Okay, thank
So-
you.
The one, yeah.
And that one is, the reason for that is I have numbers that most of our employees have children.
Yes.
And it would be great to assist them.
And whose idea was that?
You, but
CEO.
this one though is daycare. I supported it with, yeah.
No, only because there was money available at Gina and say, and please, in an existing building right now, we have a daycare, we have the ARP money to do that. So I said,
Yes.
Oh, it's against the.
no, this is daycare. sis.
No.
Yeah,
No,
no, pre-
just remember.
actually, I'm sorry, we were approved for pre-K.
But it
On
was,
the original, if you look at the original document of the charters for the Guahan Academy, we are from pre-K on to high school. So the only reason why we got GDOE troubling us before is because they were running the pre-K at 6,000 and we're running the pre-K at 3,000 per pupil. So they went against that because our budget was tied up with them at the time. But this is our own money. We could actually run the pre-K. Look
But
at
has
the
there
original
been a revision of that 1999 law?
There
Has
was
been a revision?
actually the original approval for us is really to include pre-K.
So where?
I will look into that because
Donna in her wisdom include the whole shebang. To be honest with you.
And the
have to go
reason
back.
is, the reason why, because it was brought up to my attention to look into that. I have some online resources on island.
Yes,
resources
yes.
that could help us
Right.
get that
Right.
going right.
Imagine you have your-
However, I am suggesting, because I serve on the Head Start Council as the board member, I am suggesting that we form a council to get that started. But
Yes.
there is a resource on island that we can.
Yes.
We
Oh,
can
start it.
imagine this in our new
But check on
campus.
that, I thought you found the law.
Yes, it was mentioned. I was reviewing it again, the ones that we submitted.
Go on the original
history.
approval. Go on the original approval because the reason that's the reason why we the only reason why they didn't allow is because it's going to eat up on DOE budget to include another grade level. We were then under their budget,
That was the
so they were
timeline that
questioning.
they-
So I said, John, and this is the public hearing, John. I said, your problem is you cannot run the pre-K at 3,000 because you're running a pre-K at 6,000. I'm only running it at 3,000. Face to face, when we had a board meeting, when we have a meeting with GDOE on why our expenses are this and that and that, right?
And that was during GDOE time. We're still under GDOE.
Yeah, when our budget, John just doesn't like all the, GDO just doesn't like our money, their money, to be eaten up anymore by that. So thank God with the wisdom of former Senator Marilyn Manabusa, we got our budget separated through the budget law. So we're number 4 on the budget law now. We used to be UOG, GDOE, GCC, we're now 4th on the budget law. So we have our own budget. So we don't anymore, we are not anymore part of
I
the-
never agreed to that. I was always subject.
Yes,
And believe me, I was
Yeah,
very outspoken that we have
Separate
no
their budget.
business
Yeah.
looking at the charter school.
Expenses, yeah.
We don't have any authority whatsoever on how they should spend money.
We
I
were
was
created by
really
law and GDOE has their hands on how we operate our school only because our budget is, and it made rightfully so, because they have the money that we're sharing. And even in a household, if you're sharing money that I cannot have anymore, I cannot share anymore with you, I will raise an issue too. And that was the situation. So with the mighty pen of Senator San Agustin, Senator Trina, and all these guys are really for charter, they went ahead and approved the budget law that included the charter school as a 4th category.
Yeah.
Because before it was nobody. So it was to us. That's all the 4th category was created. So everybody benefited. We're the only one that testified. We're the only one that put our position paper. You gotta give us our own budget. You gotta make us a part of the budget law. So that's how the budget law in education was divided into 4 now. UOG, GCC, GDOE, and now the charter school as a 4th category.
What I can do
I think there's
also,
another program, I forgot which one. I think some kind of special, not the special, the one that used to be run by Leah Santos. Something on like the licensing or something like that. So where they license some of the educators, like for them to be certified.
certification?
Yeah, certification. I think
office.
they have a separate budget for certification also. That's part of the category, number 5 or number 4 of the category.
We'll look into that.
Yeah.
But what we can also do in time, maybe when we like review again or do our research, if we're really approved for PK, here I will find it, and then what we can do is just include it in our charter renewal.
Yes.
This is
And attach it.
2012. This is from
And Jamie would love that.
Donald Wiggins.
Yeah.
Pre-K
So from
for your baby.
Kindergarten.
kindergarten.
Who's ever gonna to become great? Diba?
So we'll just include this.
By law.
We'll include this
Oh,
for the
Yeah,
charter renewal.
That was an approval.
Yeah.
That's why I
It's a board
fought the
project,
legislature and told them,
Is it
you were approved by legislation during the
No, it's
creation
not
of the
Donald
charter school.
Wiggins.
No, but that was
But it
approved.
has to be approved.
No,
What we
it-
have to attach is the
The approval and from the
so that
language.
we can
So
add
going back to
in
the,
the charter
I will
renewal.
go back to 2013.
Where did you get the idea that it's against the law?
Not it's against the law, but we were
stopped.
We were stopped. We actually even had to. We were not
They
even.
have to quit.
It was
The
yeah,
only
it was
reason-
So that's what I understood from you.
The only reason it
not
was
the law, but it's indicated during that I can quote the public law or that
budget session.
budget session that they said that we are not going to receive any for pre-K.
The funding we cannot
Which
fund
they
it.
will fund.
So on the budget budget discussion with GDOE, I told John upfront. I said I think the reservation there, John, is because I can run my pre-K at 3,000 and you cannot run it at the price that I'm running my pre-K.
Yeah.
Because when I divided all the costs for grade level, they're running it I think at 6,000 per head. So they didn't want us to eat any more of their money. But now that we're separated from them, we could really do it. Because Donna's wisdom is really to take it all the way from the beginning from the pre-K and it was actually approved on that. That's the reason why
I need to go back to the
that's why
budget.
we decided to offer it.
Yes.
And we got in trouble because everybody. So we have just to show that you have to go into the original approval of the charter school in
Yeah.
2012.
So that
Because
we
it
can
will reside-
refile it again
will
on our
reside-
charter renewal.
Yeah, it will recite exactly what grade level. And Marilyn was part of the original committee that put that together. So she knew there was nothing wrong with it. We just cannot fight them because of the budget. It wasn't anything,
Well,
it was not
I-
anything against the law, but it was the money that we included the pre-K for our operation. But the time we only was.
So they didn't really.
Yeah, it was
actually
just all
fund
that. There was nothing against the law that we were doing, and it was so nasty because the media was saying they operated this, but really it wasn't against it. That's why I was brave in facing John, and I said, John, could it be just a budget issue that I can run my pre-K at 3,000 and you cannot run it, and you have to run it at 6,000, double the money,
You made him a model, that's why.
huh? No, because he looked at me like. There was really nothing against the law. That's why I was brave and I faced him up.
Yeah, that's why you can justify three, he cannot justify six. See,
Yeah.
if you come back.
Well, I'm an advocate of the pre-K. I really am.
I love the
because I
pre-K.
think
And then you
that-
have the daycare. We're a one-step school.
Yeah.
So
the
as
the
we,
daycare have to be operated as a non-profit though, to be honest with you guys. It cannot be under a regular K to 12 under the charter. The daycare has to be the Guahan Academy daycare or the Guahan Academy something else.
Yes.
Right?
Which is,
That's just how it's gonna
Yeah.
be.
Yes.
Because that's gonna be the non-profit
So-
operation of the
so
charter
as
school.
we envision our new school, we need to think of, are
That
we
part.
going to establish the pre-K?
Pre-K.
I really, I'm truly a
We have
supporter
to,
of that.
we have to.
And they should not be half day, they should be full day.
Today, you're right.
Yes.
Yes. I think so, yeah. So that's how you prepare them.
Yep,
How
that's
you
right.
prepare them, you know? I totally agree.
That would be a great hit.
Yeah.
Imagine you got the school and you got the pre-K,
Yeah.
the teacher, not only the teacher, the parents, if they found
Oh,
out.
they love it.
They'll have,
So you have your daycare, the kids have matriculation to the pre-K
yeah,
and on and on. Then you
Yeah,
have
so
like some
continue.
loyalty award there at the end of school because all of them that came in from pre-K to grade 12, right? Oh, yeah. I understand.
that'll be
A
nice.
lot of the Philippine schools are like that. They start from pre-K
Really?
and then all the way to 12th grade. If they are really a good high school, if they have really a good school. And most of them operates that way. So it's not anything hard. I think it's just a matter of getting all the components of, but it's not against the law to be clear with you guys. We're not violating the law.
Yeah.
It's just a
It's
money,
there.
it was really a money issue. And I think Trustee Evelyn, you know that. I fought John on that. Remember when I told John, I said, you cannot run the pre-K at 6,000. I run it at 3,000, you cannot run it at 6,000. That's why they were just against us because of the share of the money.
Right,
So
right,
you
right.
remember that, and we had to go to the hearing all the time.
But mentioning that, did you say that we're going to run it as a profit?
No, the daycare.
Daycare.
The daycare will have to be run as a non-profit. We will open a daycare in our vision, in our new facility. We will all be opening a childcare center and a pre-K to complete the approval package of the Guahan Academy Charter School. Which
Yeah,
included the
I'm not
pre-K
sure,
all the way to
but-
high school.
I guess we should have to make some amendment to our bylaws, but we'll consult our legal counsel on that.
Yeah, the bylaws has nothing to do with that, but it's actually the approval of the old council. The old council has approved us to operate from pre-K to high school. The council that approved our first charter.
Yeah, but I'm just kind of wondering, shouldn't we have to amend our bylaws If we are
No.
going to operate a profit-oriented,
No. We will just add it in as it will be just an added grade level for the Guahan Academy Charter School. Yeah, that would be just.
But we
would
did
just-
already.
Yeah.
There's 1 year that we already had a pre-K.
And we just got shut down because of the budget.
Yeah.
They don't want to budget.
So we
They don't
just
wanna-
have to include it or the documentation that we're really pre-approved before in our next renewal, charter renewal.
Yes.
Because we're due
Yeah.
for that. So we'll just have
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand that, but as a nonprofit, and we add something, do it as a profit-oriented sub-organization.
No profit.
Cannot?
No profit.
No, we're
profit.
not going to. I think you misheard it. Madam Faye said we'll do it as a non-profit, not with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
When you do it as a non-profit organization, and I think he's concerned now
Right.
is how about the tuition?
Yeah, I guess I misheard that.
You can,
As a non-profit organization, you can charge your fee. You can charge tuition. So that's the reason why two separate monies gonna come into GAC. One is a non-profit and one is as a component unit of the government of Guam, where they
Right.
they continuously to receive subsidy. But the daycare operations, this is not stipulated on the original charter approval of GACs, must be operated as a non-profit organization,
Separate.
totally separate from the
Got it. Got it.
from
From
our,
the
yeah.
funding.
So you have to call it differently. You have to call it like the Starfish Academy. Yay!
We have that actually, the STARS program.
No, the Starfish Academy. That will be all the little starfish that's gonna go to school, right? I'm gonna make baby again. You laugh, Trustee Rosie. I stuck close to manufacturing. Okay, let's make it a Starfish Academy. Oh, isn't that great?
It's good because that's when I'll begin to have grandkids.
Yes. So let's all name it a Starfish Academy. For employees, 50% discount. And then we shoot for 100 capacity.
you heard that, Jimmy?
We will have to make 100. I was
Is that a minimum?
my data was approved at 80%. So I divided it into pre-K. I divided it to like from the infant to ta. The infants are the best, but the ratio is 1:4. So it's not a lot of, but it's for anybody that would like to help the community. 1:4 for the infant, and then as you get 1 to 2, it will be like 1:4, 1:6 on the ratio of an employee of a caregiver to the student. So it hasn't changed. So
Same.
with the infant, you don't need a playground. You just need somebody to take care of them during the day, and that I think will have a big grant. But then when you go from 1-year-old to 3-year-old to 4-year-old, the ratio is 1:4, and it gets less and less as the kids get bigger. So, but what I did before is when they're ready towards the 5th grade, they're age 5. I already introducing them to the reading, the writing, and the arithmetic of. So when they went to school, like the students that came out of my school were just the parents were just so, oh, my children knows how to read their alphabet. Their children know how to do their arithmetic and stuff like that. Something like that. And I think we will have all our genius on that, the collaboration of all our heart and mind into putting together a nice Starfish Academy. Yeah! I love it.
The thing there is it connects continuously
Yes,
to
yes.
education. So it stays.
That's Rosa will happen in our new campus. That will be part of the design of our new campus.
And Trustee said the reason why Fernandez didn't want to give us that they don't have it available and they doesn't want us to get more money.
Yes, exactly. They fought us on the money. I think you remember that. Because I asked him, why are you asking? Why are you stopping our daycare? Our kindergarten. We're running at 3,000. You're running at double the price.
That's
So
right.
that's why he shut up and did not answer me back. But other concerns.
He cannot justify it.
No, he has money for
I
kindergarten.
know, but he cannot explain the variance. of
But why they
6 and-
cannot allow us
Yeah.
to have kindergarten?
See, that's the part he
Because
cannot
we
explain.
really are part of the budget. That's the reason why he wants to take all that money for GTO. And I understand because they have big overhead than us. Okay, moving on.
So one line.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Fernandez is not an educator, so he really doesn't see.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So that's past.
Well, Miss Lou is in that good riddance that is not
Oh,
there.
your name?
Being recorded.
What did you say, Miss Lewis? What?
Okay, Jamie, there was an error.
Strike. Okay, let's go move on.
Yeah, one last, the one you also brought up, right? Your idea of having the after school program.
Yeah.
We did not include this anymore because it's again approved under the AR.
You got with your ARP money, yeah. Because I was telling them there's 98 million right now sitting at the charter school. I mean, at the Guahan Economic Development Authority for daycare after school programs. So I was asking Anne if we could just tap on some of the after school money. But she said that that's already provided for under the ARP. If the ARP continues like for the school session?
Yes,
So
just
that's-
like the summer program, we only put in 1 year, but it continued on for the second year, which means that
Carry over.
we don't know if they're taking it from ESF.
And quite sure the
or
NIDA
ARP.
money is also part of the ARP money.
Mhm.
So you cannot be double
Double
dipping
dipping.
on
Yeah.
the same money. So I was just excited because as I said, that's 98 million that we haven't really have
What?
for a daycare, for a childcare, or a after school. Just waiting to be taken and used right now.
But we have to make sure that someone or a group of people would step up to plan for the after school program.
Yeah, we do need, I totally agree, the after-school program. That would help our students out.
Yes, and that's the reason too why we pushed for early dismissal this year so that to prepare them.
Is that called deed or?
That's good.
No, the deed is for the GDOE,
Oh.
but this one is mainly, we haven't used it up yet, but it was
Oh, okay.
approved under ARP to make sure that we support the loss of instructional time during the pandemic.
okay,
So we
okay.
are open to like train people or students, and it's not
Yeah. That's,
just to make sure that we get them back after school
Yeah,
because
kids
there's so
are
many
going
delays.
behind,
yeah.
we don't, what do you call it, deny or, what do you
Yeah,
call it?
I think that's a good program for the after school, but it has to be continuous, right? So this is when you actually have your little this little program to assist some students, right? So on the after school, rather than just play and stuff like that. I think you should be able to get some sort of continuation on helping them with the homework, right? And you'd be
Work
able
or
to-
other hands-on
yeah,
activities,
hands-on
home
activities,
economics.
right? Yeah.
Because we already got all the
Got
sewing
it.
machines,
Yeah.
it's already here. It's also under ARP.
Okay.
We are expecting the band supplies, the school band supplies that we already
Wow.
requested
So we
too.
can have a-
How many sewing
Oh,
machines do you
wow.
have?
That'd
I
be
think we
nice.
have 8 or
So who's gonna be teaching that?
we have volunteers before who already
Just
signed up.
first teachers and stuff. You know what you do before the sewing machine? You should really teach them how to do it by hand first.
Yes, and we have already teachers who volunteered to
Because
give their time.
we did that in high
Home
school.
economics.
A mother, a
Yeah,
housewife.
backstage, running stitch.
That's a practical, that's a practical mother and a
That's why-
housewife.
You know,
That's-
what do you do?
Yes, that's why I
No,
had that
honestly,
in mind.
honestly, I'm so much older than her. But we were in high school. We have to finish our crochet project, our
Yeah.
stitches and stuff like that because that's part of our home
economics.
economics.
Yes.
And then electrical for
You took the
the
words out.
guys,
Yeah,
right? And
that's
then
correct.
handwriting
It's now
too.
called consumer
Yeah.
education.
Yeah, I think we should be able to introduce that consumer education gets
And you can, in actuality, for those students that are short
even
credits
cooking.
from
We also
graduation,
had,
they can actually take those courses for their electives.
That's why I want the kitchen retrofitted with some kind of like
18 or
some hospitality, sort of the little hospitality courses. Just snippets of something that we can do on that part of the vocational education or very technical education. A little kitchen thing, I'd like how to be able to monitor like
Like home economics
Yeah,
But home, just like home economics, we should really incorporate that because that would be an after-school activity.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be.
That's part of the plan.
Yeah, and
that
then I
was
tell you,
submitted.
if you establish a template for that that's successful and you document that also part of your accreditation, you can get funding for that the next time around. Because right now we really have a lot of ARP money.
So
that
we must remember that as we envision how we want our new building to look like,
Yeah.
looking at the future of that, we need to build it into the.
Because we can have like an agricultural area where children can actually know how is it to plant and harvest what they have.
That's also a part of the ARP, and we already ordered, I believe,
Seedlings.
the flowering,
Planters.
not even all the soil from the
Yeah, Home Depot.
Everything.
Yeah.
Miss Jamie already sent, I think, the
That should be nice. And then
specifications and the quote.
when we have
That's
an
part of
area
the
here,
ARP.
like there's a lot of open areas here. Why can we not use that for like seedlings? Put a little canopy where they can have seedlings for this and then watch them grow, And that keeps the children really because children are all into this thing, into
Yeah.
the games.
And,
Not practical stuff.
Yeah,
Like
can they check them out and do
hydroponics as
something
well.
else like in hydroponics and stuff like that?
but that's part, they're all under ARP, so we just have
We're just
to.
waiting for
I'm
that.
glad you're in charge.
We're just waiting for Miss Jamie, or we're waiting for vendors to give us a quote, because that's required to be part of the documentation on new.
But that's already applied for under the ARP.
Yes.
Who's handling the follow-up for that?
Miss Jamie for now, that's why she really needs, assistance.
Right,
for
who's
the
helping her
procurement.
right now?
Don't forget ARP is anything to do to support our kids.
Yes.
Okay,
So HR chair,
yeah,
filled positions,
Mhm.
computer tech, he started Monday. Admin officer, he was supposed to start yesterday as well, but we received a letter, but she is willing to start on September 6th.
Yeah.
Teachers, we filled 6 positions already for the teachers. TA, 3 new ones. And the current vacant positions is the certified SPED teacher. So I was able to speak with a representative from special education. We are required to have one certified teacher. Before,
Yeah.
former
Mary, yeah.
CRT was
Mary.
certified.
Terry,
So the
yeah.
CRT doesn't have to be certified
Certified now.
because they're just doing the paperwork. But
it's
we still
fair.
need one certified because we have to be in compliance with when we're doing the staffing.
Yeah.
There's one administrator
Yeah.
and one certified.
I take a different stand. The CRT was just like doing paperwork.
Must be
That's what
certified.
that's for, right?
Yeah.
But the CRT really understands what is in the IEP, what
Yes.
needs. So I think maybe a clerical person be provided to the CRT so they work as a team to make sure that all those documentations are done timely.
Right.
Yes.
Okay,
But But just to inform you, we have taken on an intern CRT who was a teacher before. So that was already that already started basically this school year.
so I'm a little bit confused here. Let me go back. On the Friday, July 29th, 2022, we received a listing of the staffing pattern, right?
Yes.
So I counted 23. Okay. So 23 minus 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is about 21 positions that are still vacant. Okay. Because I counted, I have, that's why I was doing the highlight. Okay. So this needs to be really updated. Ms. Jamie on the July 29th gave us the staffing pattern. Number 2, we need to be consistent with titles. Okay.
Yes.
You said that we feel the computer tech On this staffing pattern, there's no such title as computer tech.
Yes.
We have IT program coordinator and IT network operator. Which one?
It's the correct one, so I submitted to Miss Jamie just to correct. This is the correct one. Remember how before in our org chart it was 450? So we had updated this one, the actual one. I think they gave you this one. So this is the correct ones and the correct titles already.
So what is the correct title for this IT?
Computer technician.
So which one replaces this one?
You just have to correct this. This is the IT coordinator, not program. IT coordinator, which was filled by Mr. Ricky before.
That's the one that was, okay. So it's
So
not.
that's still as of now vacant. We're still using that.
No, it's
And then-
field. You said it's field.
No, that's the computer technician.
But there's no computer technician here. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
why this one has to be updated and has to follow the actual one that we
But it was, this is the most recent one that we got. We got it on July 29th.
This is more of a budget fund. This is a
I know, but
template
the
that we,
title
yes.
should be,
So
that's
we,
what I'm saying.
yeah.
We don't need to submit something to the legislature or to whomever, and they see.
Yes, that's why
Right,
this is
right.
to be updated.
Because you know
Yes,
why?
I agree.
One time the legislature will ask me, who's filling this position and
Yeah.
why?
Yes.
So those once in a while will do a cross-checking that who's really sitting on that certain position.
Yes.
Because then we're just adding that budget that is not even filled, right? So
That is very important.
that could always be a vacancy, but have to be identified as a
Jamie
vacancy.
always put
Yeah.
the
That's not
date
filled
as
here.
of the,
Yes.
like this one that we
That's
have.
something.
What is the date? Well, as
That's
of
as
when?
of today.
Surprise today.
Yes, as of
I
want to
May
surprise
16,
16, 20.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so
Everybody's
please,
surprising
that-
us. Selection-
that's correct.
Well,
selection
just make
is-
sure that Miss Badette go back to your,
Yeah.
the one that has the amounts.
You want me to bring that?
No, you have to follow the
Already, I
one.
did already.
So this is
Oh,
now,
you did. Oh, she
This-
did already.
So
It's
this
just that
is now-
you have this.
this is
I'm just
now
giving you that.
computer tech, not computer.
So,
I
when are we gonna
That's that.
get a copy of all the updates?
Oh, she said she can print it right now if you want
Okay.
it.
If you want me?
No, just electronic copy, that's all. That's it.
Yeah, because I already followed it.
Yeah, just,
Yeah, we
just
have
electronic copy.
We cannot
No,
say
no need to print.
opposition.
And because it's going to be a legislature always,
there.
it's already on there.
Yeah,
I just printed this for your info, but this is already part of the FY 23, by
Okay.
updated FY 23 file.
Thank you, Lou. That's very important. Consistency.
Madam Chair, don't forget that whatever position we're filling, it has to be in our budget that we have identified those positions.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
but yeah,
We
please
always
update that.
make sure.
The ones that we submitted, is the old, this explain.
Always,
Yeah.
please always say that.
That's what
It's
the
the old
old
one,
one.
Yeah.
And
And the reason why it's a bit late is because we had to first get our approval and make sure that our org chart is having the correct titles. So as soon as we approved that, I already submitted to Miss Jamie and Miss Badette that everything has to be.
We don't.
It's all integrated.
No, but I'll be.
I thought we already have an assistant.
There is one already, applicant for this.
But this one here is critical also.
Yes. We don't have it.
Yeah.
That's the right one of this one.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
No, I'm just saying the program coordinator 3, although it's vacant, that's a very critical position for you, your assistant.
Yes.
Sort of your.
And I
your
will
right
share
hand.
with you that who I was like trying to gear to transition all those. I have someone already in
Okay.
mind, but
So that will be your right hand, besides Miss B.
to follow
Yeah.
like all the protocols and the
Yeah.
SOPs that we've been
As
doing.
expected for you to be doing.
Thank you for that support because I already am
Yeah, you're ready
I'm slowly
gearing that person.
already.
Yeah.
And basically sharing with that person all the other.
Because it said, hey, if let's say, for example, you can't answer the question, she's supposed to come and say, oh, we have this answer already.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just need to be sure that we are consistent in what we are sending to the officials and what we're trying to feel here as school. So then the next one is the new business.
New business.
Staff and add-
Oh, yes.
Okay.
This is something I just wanted to bring up. Of course, it's not, we have a vacant position basically because originally we have two in the staffing pattern, that is one attendance officer and one discipline officer. We had that ever since. During the accreditation, when we're looking at our data of how we have to improve on our behavior intervention, we somehow address that by making sure that the assistant principal will be the administrator for that discipline officer. But we don't have right now.
Really,
assistant principal.
I will be hesitant to do that. It has to be a school administrator. And it's not discipline. We call it student personnel. Because even if you have an attendance officer, I'm just sharing with you, Michael, the attendance officer does not does not impose discipline.
Yes.
It has to be the school administrator.
Yes.
Okay,
So take it out?
No, I'm not saying that it's to be taken out. We need to fill the position of the assistant principal and the principal really has
the
that
oversight.
responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay. So what that tells me, okay, that's number one. Number two is that's the company recommendation. What that tells me is that their observations in the classroom are not being done. The research says that 1/3 of the administrator's time must be in the classroom to do observation. Then the role of that administrator is when that teacher is demonstrating for classroom management, that administrator has the responsibility to help that teacher, not a discipline officer. Please, I want us to be.
So the discipline officer was created a while back.
Yeah, and that's what we have in the staffing pattern. That's why I was looking at it
So
and
we just
said,
carried forward, but we had a discipline officer we hired for the longest time, right? And we terminated, and then somebody took over the discipline officer position. This is not anything that's we should eliminate.
Yeah.
And bring in somebody that would really have to do certain job, not necessarily a discipline officer, but maybe under an attendance officer or something
because
like
we
that.
already have attendance right now.
So
the person
what that tells me is that, are you asking for another assistant principal?
No,
Okay.
definitely. So I'm just trying to bring up
Yeah.
that if we have this discipline officer and we already identify that is under the supervision of an assistant principal or an administrator, then what do we do with this position?
The discipline officer cannot impose discipline on the student. Cannot. It has to be. That's the duty and responsibility of a school administrator, assistant.
Okay, so knowing that now, part of the duties of the assistant principal must reflect that. Okay,
Yes.
because you created this position that reflect certain responsibility. This now will have to be under the purview of the assistant principal. Okay.
However, the documentation, so what has been happening, as I have observed, that is being practiced ever since we
Yes,
opened,
yes.
is that this discipline officer, actually I did a research. It was really called student liaison, right, Miss Janie?
Student liaison.
Yes.
Okay.
Like more of, that's the original position, that, or the title of that position. And then
I don't remember.
after a few years or 2 years, it was changed to discipline and attendance officer, which is again questionable, because
Yes.
discipline has to be.
Do we have that in the Star GDO? Do you have such thing as
To
discipline
me,
officer?
I would rather, honestly, have another assistant principal. And they're like, how do you utilize their leadership to help the teachers in the classroom? Because that should help minimize classroom management problems. So what I'm going to ask Mr. Santiago is that I would like to see, and I believe the board would like to see, a data on a monthly basis. What are those classroom behaviors that were reported by X number of teachers?
We already have those,
You
and we
have that?
already have submitted, and that was even part of our PD when Mr. Crisostomo did
Okay.
the
Okay.
presentation
Okay.
of classroom
So
management.
those teachers who are continuously having problems with classroom management, those are the teachers that really need to be helped. And that's the role of the assistant principal,
Yes, yes, and
not
that
a
is clear.
discipline officer.
Yes,
Please.
yes, we understand, but we're just bringing up to
Yeah,
you
yeah.
the
What we
the
have.
history,
Yeah, what
so
we
that we
have,
can
yeah.
really review and basically change this.
Yeah.
Because what happened is, we know for a fact that discipline has to be handled by an administrator. However, because we had that position long enough, that is being like, everyone in this school,
Yeah.
whether you're a teacher, you just newly came, if they have issues in the classroom, to them, they think it has to be brought to that person because he's the discipline
see?
officer,
See?
which is
See?
basically a wrong conception.
That's correct. Yeah, that's correct.
So,
then,
which means then, though, that we also found the flaw in the way we're handling discipline, right? So we now have we're going to hire an assistant
That's
principal to make
That's
sure
correct.
that his or her main job responsibility is to handle discipline. To make
But-
sure, in addition
but
to the other.
if that assistant principal experience is only with the elementary, the principal should also be doing discipline.
Both
Yes,
parties.
both
I'm
parties.
sorry.
It has to be both,
It has to be.
both administrators. Yeah.
Because again, I think as a CEO, you would be interested to see their report of how much time they're spending in the classroom observing.
Yes.
You
We
cannot
already
make
saw.
a difference in student achievement if you don't deal with that problem first.
Surprise.
No, we did.
You cannot be a good teacher teaching your lesson for the day when you are spending most of your time disciplining the student. And that's the teacher that we really need to capture to get help.
Yes.
So I'm not in favor of the discipline
Yes.
officer.
So this is something we have to discuss again, so we can decide right away to remove it from the staffing pattern.
And is there a position that you really need to, I'm just asking the question. Does the data show that we need another assistant principal?
Yes. I think just to focus on.
That is what I'm asking. But if we do that, that assistant principal must be in the classroom and help the teacher, find ways to help the teacher. And, Mr. Crisostomo is with me. So, think about it. Think about it, about how we're gonna divvy the responsibility.
Because as soon as possible, the goal is to correct the mindset of our faculty and staff that this person
So let's
who originally had that has to be
all right.
relieved from
So-
those duties and
So
responsibilities.
I want to get a form, okay? That before the teacher refers the student, the teacher must have done certain things first. Number one, deal with the student. Number two, were the parents contacted that I, Mrs. XYZ, today your son
Ma'am, we did
created
that
this
already.
problem. I need you to help. Is that in the form?
Yes, we have those in place. That's why I'm trying to explain to you that
So
we
why are they
already
referring just to the discipline person
So,
and not
the full-
documenting?
the full I guess the crack in the system of the discipline for here is that the teachers are, or let's say the teachers being the frontliners, already communicated with their parents. But when they do the referrals or when they fill out the referrals, they will only do the referrals based on the offense because they have their own classroom rules and inside the classroom. So that means that they already, when they fill out the ODR, which is the referral, that's already, they have done everything that they can as a classroom teacher. However, all those referrals are staying in the office and are not being acted upon.
What do you mean? Staying in the office of the assistant principal?
Right now, because we don't have, again, the same thinking is the person who has been the discipline officer, even if we know
But,
that.
okay, so we leave it up. I'm sorry, if that's going to be the answer to how do we enhance it and help the teacher, then we have to take it,
I'll just take it out.
Take it out.
That means it will be automatically under the
Yes.
principal
and
or
assistant.
assistant principal.
And that has to be very clear on their duties and responsibilities. And at the end, other related duties as assigned by the CEO.
I think so.
This, because it's an ongoing connotation or
Yeah, no.
practice that all administrators,
Exactly.
they were deans, principal, assistant
They
principal.
wash their hands off on the discipline.
Because we have a discipline officer, then
Send
it
it
goes
there.
to you.
Yeah. Let them do it.
Yeah.
And then they don't act on it.
And
Okay.
then we don't help the.
Okay.
the
Okay,
person.
on that note, on the revision, just make sure the revision of the duties and responsibilities, that is highlighted and that is the initial, right? Okay, let's
Yes,
go. Let's
okay.
go.
Thank you very much, and that's very clear that this definitely will move forward. Notary, new employee, we have one, Miss.
One is Madam Faye on the,
Hallelujah.
hallelujah.
We have a notary,
We have one, a new teacher.
a new employee just doing notary work?
No, she's a notary.
Oh,
She's a teacher, she's one of our teacher assistants.
Now, if we're going to use, this is the suggestion of what made Jimmy. If we're going to use her as our notary public now, instead of us going through all the notary thing, right?
Right.
Then her license or her
Has to be paid
renewal
by
fee
us.
has to be paid by us. It can, right now, her term, the expiration will be next year. But if we use her now, it can kind of transfer to us, but we need to pay the
license.
the license still. So this is something like the board needs to
How much is it?
agree. It's
$50.
Yeah. No,
There's also an insurance
the
bond.
license, I think it's
That's not bad.
$1,000.
It's usually 1,000 for the insurance bond.
But the insurance is what
But
we
do we
have to
pay her
indicate.
extra for doing it?
No, it's not a pay.
Wait, let Jamie just explain. Jamie, go. You have the floor.
So there's the notary fee, which is about $50. That's the one with Treasure of Guam. But then there's also the insurance bond, which is about $1,000.
So we have to pay that then? The 1,000?
So if she becomes the
Yeah.
notary for banks,
Officials.
Yeah, there you go. Official.
If she becomes the official notary of GACS, she will not be able to notarize any other document outside GACS because we're bonding her for that work. Because any work that she do outside GACS will be something that we don't want to be answerable in the future. If those are like wrong documentations on deed or transfer of deeds, we don't. There's a great responsibility of having your own notary, but she has to be told that notary fee that the bonding fee that needs to be given to her will only have her as an exclusive notary for us. Because like the lawyers, they have their own notary, and those notary, if they have to notarize anything outside, I think they have to, I don't know what's the process, but I go to this notary, so is the bank, only customers can go for notary. With GACS, only GACS related document will have to go to the notary.
Does it include employees? Employees of GACS?
Yes,
Yes.
right.
So I think my
But GACS
recommendation
related,
is to, because it's like a commitment, right?
Yeah.
If we ask her to be our official,
Notary.
and then we will be paying for that insurance, then it binds her with us. And how sure are we she's going to stay? So why can't we just pay her
As we use her.
just like when we're going to
Exactly.
bank?
Yeah, we can do that. It's just that the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Madam Pay one time suggested that we should have our own
One or
notary.
two of them would have to do it. But since you already
So
have,
since this is the reason why we brought this up when she found out that there is a notary public. Then cling, my brain.
knowing that now, we cannot have her as
Legally binding.
notarial public for Guahan Academy. We can use her as we.
But may I ask something? May I ask my accountant if we have money for that?
Yes, we have money for that. It's how are we going to retain and use her?
That's all I need to know from you. We have money
The
for
money
that.
is not some kind of how
It's not big.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think by law, the notary public would have to record their own, because every year as they renew the record of who and what they recorded or what they had notarized has to be in special books, right?
Yes.
So I think I would go with the CEO's solution, just to keep her as as somebody that we can go to notary to notarize some of our documents. It's not much, right? So why engage ourselves with her bring her as a notary public for GACS? I think we can just let her be whatever she is, and then whatever she is in our school. And if we need her to notarize some documents, and I know we're going to have some heavily documentations once we move into
which our legal counsel
into our legal counsel also have free legal free notary public service. So I think we'll never mind that. So
never mind that.
But it's good to have a second one, someone to
But if she's going to conduct business here, it has to be when her teaching duties are over.
And again, it's like
So in
conflict
other words,
again of
I wouldn't want to hear or see interrupting
what is she
a
now?
teacher in the classroom to do paperwork.
What is she, Jamie?
She's a TA. She's a TA. And yes, and then also to add to that, because I was a notary like a long time ago, a few years ago, and then if I recall correctly, I mean the notary, that's hers, so she can notarize outside of GACS. It's hers to keep. It's hers to keep and to use. It's up to her if she wants to renew it, if she wants to pay the bond. It's only like if you're a government worker, then you have to surrender. If you resign, you have to surrender your notary stamp and everything to them, since they were the ones that paid for it. But since it's a little bit different for us. If we pay for it, like if she would to resign, she would have to reimburse us or something like that. But there's nothing that stops her from engaging outside notary. Yeah. So
we handled that already. We covered that. Thank you.
Okay, so that's where it is. Never mind. So we'll just use her as needed, and
It's
then you
good to
have.
be available, ready to be
Yes,
available when we
yes.
cannot.
If
reach
anyone
out to
wants
our
your
council
service, is
officers.
available after school hours. Not lunchtime, because,
Yeah, it's also conflicting
not
with-
early in the
with-
morning, please, after school.
Other than that, you have
Teaching
Attorney
hours.
Jackie's office
Sundays.
always ready to
Mostly,
have.
Mostly,
yeah.
it's
Most of our
Recommended.
doctors are
Recommended.
authorized at our office.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially with confidentiality. We
I'd rather go
need to
there.
know.
Yeah, especially, yeah, and I think it's a good point.
The names.
I'd rather go there.
I think it's a good point with some of the confidentiality that we engage GACs, as GACs, right? I think we're better off using our legal,
But
Also,
for the
our
other
counsel to,
employees, basically we can advertise. Like for example, my personal thing, my personal stuff, or our employees' personal.
Yeah.
We can let them know that. Oh, did you know
She's
one of our
available.
people?
Yeah.
For your personal.
If anyone needs
Notary
we
for
don't
your
need that.
notary public services,
We
she's
don't need-
available.
we don't
But
need that.
after school hours only.
Again, it conflicts with her
With the
day-to-day
daily
responsibility. So that's one thing we need to be aware
It's
of.
up to her, yeah.
That
It's up to her to advertise herself, yeah.
that her notary activities.
Where
Good
not
to
is her office
Not our
located?
own expense.
Yes.
Where is her office
She's
located?
only a TA.
She's a
She doesn't
TA.
have an
She
office.
Because you can use this at our office.
We're just
now. That's
doubling her.
wonderful.
We're just asking for her. If she can do notary for us. Of course, she has
That's
to do notary.
unethical.
But she's a TA, and she's already busy as a TA. What grade is she TA for? Grade 1. Then she doesn't have time. She had to take them to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Supplies.
No time. It's okay.
Okay, back.
That
Okay,
is-
next.
Never mind. That issue. That issue. Let's go. Moving on.
Okay, finance chair. Your
Madam
turn.
Chair.
Finance chair.
I told Attorney Terlahi to call her. And Attorney Terlahi is also talking about the council chair. Miss Sipo.
Follow-up.
Yeah. About the, no, I'm
I
already-
asked her. I wrote her an email. She said, "Can I call you back?" I never got the call back. Maybe I should call her.
Yeah, call her.
There
I
must be
already
something. She
informed-
must
I
be very
already
busy
on-
on something. That's why.
I already asked the legal counsel to.
I think it should just be the legal counsel now because we're ending the fiscal year 23 money, and I want that all wrapped up. At least the 100,000 there's been sitting like and showing all the time of the
Yeah.
audit.
Yeah.
And it's like a sore thumb in your audit, so it's not right.
When can we get the budget law?
Last
Yeah.
night, I was watching, and this morning too, there was a lot.
Anytime this
Yeah,
year, they should get that out because they're under pressure already.
They're under
Really
pressure.
need
And this
that.
morning, Pati Arroyos, they're talking about it. Even they were talking about the $5,000.
Keep in mind, it's always before the end of the fiscal year that they will be battling on the audit. And then you don't see your money until towards like the end of August, towards first week of September. Because our mistake last time is we already assumed that it would be given X amount of money per pupil, but it didn't happen. So we encumbered.
It's really October 1.
Yeah, but
When
they're
the
always.
fiscal year begins,
Yes,
right?
yes. So, but you can look at how September is when you really get your notification where what your money is. So that's when we started moving into encumbering all the previous year's money. But I hope we can get 7,500 to be honest.
Yeah. We had, instead of going to the meeting, which I shared with you, the charter schools, Miss Helen just looked into the public law where we are supposed to be able to use our funds that we were not able to.
Yeah.
So they wanted to give it again to the senators just to remind
Allow
them
us
that to
the
allow
prior
us.
year.
Yeah, I have 1.2.
Who's the prior year? The prior
That's a
year.
lot of money.
Because it was already allotted
But
for
you know
us,
when-
so why can't we use it?
But when you have that surplus, you have to be able to have a schedule. Submitted to them,
Yeah.
how I did this version one.
They're gonna ask them.
Which,
But this is the reason, that's the reason why the problem last year was to use the prior year,
Obligation.
not obligation, the prior year,
Lapses.
balances, right?
Lapses.
Balance, yeah, lapses that the whole is for, they specifically indicated on the public law, COVID related.
Mm.
And all the COVID related that we experienced came from already from
Already funded.
and ARP. We cannot buy any more other COVID related.
Yeah.
So it's still the money got stuck. in the.
So you still have 800 there from 2022. Now
Okay,
you,
now
the 2021.
This is already a kind of too much for customers that even I think I will have 1.8 or 1.5.
Lapses this year.
This is something like I just did it just to be.
So what is the law? What did the law say? Are you able to use this for?
Supposedly, so we're going to
Roll
make
it over.
like we're going to have that schedule already provided, readily available for them so that we can produce it and give it to them and say,
For the use of the remaining funds.
yes, this is
So
where
what-
it's going to.
Where is your idea of using the remaining funds?
That's a problem.
Training is important.
So.
Yes,
we're-
okay.
there are so many training or subscription fees that are still stuck in AR.
But that's ARP, I'm talking about your local budget. that you
Yes,
have
so
1.3
because they are
lapses.
not going anywhere under the
I'm
AR,
already,
especially with the transition to the new team, we're thinking of handling it
How
locally.
about, how
That's what
about,
we need.
how about we encumber this now for revising the plan that you have with the WBF?
No, I cannot do that. They always ask for the invoice, I don't think. This is the reason why at the end of the year, everyone is buying.
Hindi, kaya nga.
You cannot, there's no.
WBF can invoice us already for revision, for plan
If,
revision.
we have to talk to
Rico.
the Terlano to finalize all these things. It's still a pending issue.
Because if we were looking at WBF continuing the design, but then again, you don't have a dollar because that will have to be revised. And when we talk about it, Jackie was talking about just do the revision alone would probably sell anything from 300 to 500,000. Just the revision alone. Just the revision alone. And ask Jackie, where we can actually encumber the rest of the money, so it will not, we don't have to be able, we will be able to use it properly, because you return it and then you up, and then all of a sudden you have use for it, then you didn't figure it out really how to really spend all your, I said food would be important as you increase, right? Your food meal should be important. Because without, we probably would anticipate a rise in food costs, right? Because the IFB is out, right? So we don't know how much is the increase. So you provision for that because you cannot do your 2022-23 money until 30 days, 90 days, right? You know that. So you provision for that as something that you can already provision for your meals program. For the
And which
upcoming
is we're ready
2023.
because you already gave the approval that we're going to do short orders to transition during the transition.
The short order is fine, but you're already provisioning ready for the cost.
Which means it will
Because-
go to that.
Yeah, because you will be holding, you cannot stop the meals,
Yeah,
the meals program. So you have to encumber that now as possible,
For at least the.
for at least the
October.
90 days of your food
The
costs.
encumbrances cannot happen because because the contract ends September 30. So by October 1st is the
It
new
has
money
to
already.
go, yeah. Basically, they need the invoice. It has to be invoiced.
It's still,
So just,
Oh, September 30 is when it ends.
yeah.
You're
Yeah,
dead.
I can't, yeah.
You're dead. You cannot encumber that.
Encumber
before.
it.
But there
Because
are a
that's
few-
really part of the money that.
Yeah.
But then again, you have to encumber that because that's still food cost for you until September.
After
No,
September.
no. You have already up to like.
No, this is
But
the
this
reason why I
one
already
is-
estimated.
Oh, after
Yeah,
already.
already.
Yeah, this is already here.
That's it. Those are free money. It's not
Yeah.
anymore. Okay.
It's
But
already
we
here.
have two
Yeah.
already in place, which is the leftover for the bonuses. It's like the one
Okay.
that's about
Oh.
900,000, right? Or 700,000
Oh, the ones that- the
remaining.
ones-
and-
okay.
We're trying, yeah, this is trying.
Set
By
aside.
the end of this pay period,
Okay,
I
so
have
then
I
we-
have a clear
That's
So
all.
that 1.2 would whittle it down to 300,000 then,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Okay, that's
And
good.
then the
That's good to
second
know.
one too is
For the
the
support
construction,
Construction of,
the construction of the roof and and
what
all the-
roof?
the roof of the modular rooms, ma'am. Because the other ARP is only
Ano ba,
the
Mrs.
flooring.
Concrete? Okay. So so are you saying that those 1.3, 1.2 will all be covered
Yeah,
anyway?
sorry, so we need to rush now on all this
Yeah.
procurement.
Okay, hurry up because the time is ticking on you guys
yeah.
because this is now. Yeah, did you hear that? Because what they will do for the 1.3, 1.2 lapses that's gonna happen, they already have those encumbered to make sure that they pay certain roof repairs for our modular home, and the rest will go for the salaries,
The railings.
the increments, and the railings and stuff like that.
Prior year application.
Yeah, okay.
And the staff.
So how do you encumber the salary? Is that for a border solution?
So we're going, because you already voted for it, and you approved that. So again, we need the time to come up with the conditions and who will be able to receive.
But how did you come up with 900,000?
No. The what she was saying is the 900,000 that we're going to issue. It's the 900,000 that lapsed. So out of the 900,000 is where we get some of
The salary.
the salary. Yeah.
Hurry
But
up.
we only did the,
So.
basically the difference is about 10%, right?
Okay,
After all the increments.
Which I think everyone is doing it even better.
Is that only for that for all schools from Guam? Or lucky? To have
Well,
that
yeah, well, 1.2, we're
the
lucky.
prior year
So we're
application.
trying to, and then
That's what-
we're already, all the
Some of the
subscriptions
answers
that
get it out of
we
the
need.
way.
okay. As long as you're gonna show me the 1.2 of those money will be
Yeah, I have
encumbered
it.
and will be used for anything that is not ARP related expense, correct?
Yes,
Okay, just assure the board that though you're not gonna be returning that because you have other use for it.
but it's hard to, I'm just letting you know, it's hard to spend that in a matter of 1 month.
Okay.
Because that means we're not going to sleep again.
It's okay. It's well worth worth it. It's well worth it.
Became skinny.
Okay, anything more?
Yes, we're done with that.
But the pay call again, we go up. Si Daniel, si pay Daniel. Or you call, legal counsel call.
It's the release.
The legal counsel calls, I should have answered.
No, legal counsel said she was called, but I don't know yet. Have to. Miss Rosie, are you still there?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you, what decision have we made on the Notary Public? We're not gonna hire one, right?
No. We're not hiring one. We're using the services of the legal counsels, Notary Public. We're not hiring one. It's just that we're discussing that we have an employee right now who is a Notary Public.
Which we can use.
Oh, yeah.
Needed.
If we need it, we can use, yeah.
But I don't know if you would be able to do a notary for us if she is an employee, but the only thing that we're worried about is that if she is out there notarizing things that we're paying for the cost, then
Yeah,
We're not.
Miss Lou,
it's gonna be on our neck.
yeah.
We're not.
Miss Lou covered that part. So yes, we will be very, we will check and we will be very careful in using her, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Only for emergency, like. So next would be RFP for FY 22 audit. We only have how many?
We only have two, Deloitte and Touche and Ernst Young, but they're the only ones. But I cannot.
No problem. Don't say.
No.
And then the IFD for food vendor, so we're just waiting on the final decisions or final polishing
Polishing, yeah.
of the.
Hopefully we can finish it today. Yeah, basically today. We can finish it this week,
Definitely,
yeah.
Friday, maybe we can.
Yeah, this is, yeah.
To
Leave it to the legal counsel.
for their final. USDA visit August 12, that was a very good opportunity that we had last Friday. Our minds are widened, like our vision is broadened.
Mr. Ibak, you're hearing the USDA, right?
And thank you, Ms. Vedette,
Yes.
for initiating the email right away, and that they
Aloha.
already responded
Yeah.
with
Yes.
sending us the box where we can upload all the documentation, which I also
I
asked
saw that too.
for the application form so that we can start working on the things or the documentation that are needed. Yes. But they assured us that they will be very open to entertain all our questions. It doesn't even have to be email. They said that you can just call us right away. You don't have to. It's not gonna sit in one person's
But
desk
I think
anymore.
if I understand correctly, and I, please correct me, is that they want a communication to go first to Mr. Marcinus, the local person. That's the way I understood that.
Yes,
It's gonna go through
Okay,
it first.
go through him first.
Yeah.
Okay.
and because he's our basically liaison,
Yeah.
so everything,
Yeah.
the forms,
And
and then if there's anything that he needs further clarification, is when he will direct us
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
fellow.
Yeah.
Yes. That's why we have his email as well. And he
Maybe-
sent
Yeah,
it
Mr.
to-
Martinez is good.
We can schedule
Yeah.
like as part of our regular board meeting, maybe a monthly part of the agenda is to have him here so that the communication can be face to face and open. I would like to see that because, when you're following up, sometimes people don't read their email. We'll check out, wala pa.
Bye na kayo.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
pay me, Miss
Oh,
Lynn, this
yes,
one.
yes, that's what I'm going to do.
Hurry up.
Yeah.
What are you guys? Where's the DDOH?
No, because I was audited. Anyway,
Hey,
yeah, I was
Well,
that's why
audited.
my credit card cannot go anymore. I owe so much money.
Me too. Me too. And it's been like,
Anyway, continue. I will do your check now. Anyway,
The last one on the food chain.
yes, I know, that's true. That's a very good way to
We're
put
supposed to
it.
be top of the food chain.
did you see?
For the last one, everyone else are getting paid.
Did you see the email of DOA? I was audited for all the expenses of travel. I got, so
The
yeah,
boss is not-
I was
What travel you been and you were audited?
I was audited for the one time.
I already,
Because
I
it's per
need to pay
diem.
my credit card.
That's what I was saying.
That's why we're changing.
Yes,
So
there
are we
is.
gonna make it
Very,
very,
very
much?
My card won't go anymore.
I don't know, right?
Did you see the email of
No,
DOA?
because if we
But I
pay
was
late,
audited, yeah.
we're gonna be,
So
we
much
have to pay
interest.
yeah.
Mine is at 80%, I think now.
Yeah,
Because
Okay
Even
now,
all up.
okay now.
so we're getting it?
You're getting the per diem of the lodging, which is only 1,500 versus the
Oh.
1,900 that you spent. And
That's
then
not
the,
right, I'm sorry.
No, this is the reason why.
But it's okay, but give me all expense. How much am I getting? 4,000 back?
Madam paid
For the
4,000 back.
lodging, it's
For the
only
lodging, it's only
1,500.
1,500. For the food is 400. For the meal, so I'll
So how
each.
about 1,900 plus 1,500? How much?
1,900 plus
What is
5.
1,900?
1,900 is only for food, for lodging. Is that including food?
No, food is 400.
How much is my
something.
lodging? My lodging was, I think.
1,900.
1,900, but they
Okay.
can only pay 1,500.
Okay, hurry up. I will
So the
get-
question is,
Where's that? How about the food?
The food
Also is
the food
400.
400.
so we're
1,900.
actually
So we're gonna
out of
get,
pocket of 400.
500.
See, I don't agree with that. We don't have any control over.
No, this is the reason why.
We're on Guahan,
They are
That's
above
why.
Yes, actually is
For lodging.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
lodging.
so
It's okay, I have
yes,
no problem with that.
This
Just
is the
let me
reason why
hurry
you
up.
look for a cheaper rate, a cheaper
I'm
hotel.
ready to get,
It's able for you
I
to be
already
on
lost money there. Don't send me any more to any
So
more.
we have a suggestion on what
I'm gonna
that's
book
My
my.
credit card, can I
That's
go
it, yeah.
to?
And it's so hard to keep track sometimes, right?
Yeah.
We lose our receipts but it doesn't matter. Just give me my
You're going
money
to,
now.
while you're on executive session, I will do the check. You have to do the-
Oh, yeah, where's the signatories?
There, because below 500,
Oh, yeah,
below 10,000.
oh, yeah,
She
baby,
can sign
hurry up. We are now
No,
on
we're
executive.
recorded. We're recorded.
It's okay, it's okay.
But they're all accounted.
We are all accounted
So
for.
we
Okay,
have
on the
nothing
chair.
to hide. We're being very
Any more
transparent.
on the new business, CEO?
No,
Everything is already.
The new business on the finances, I just emailed everyone about the DRT, the annual report. I just did it this
Yeah,
morning.
It's finished, yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. And then you already discussed the budget
Budget
appropriation.
appropriation.
You know,
Closing
we haven't
fiscal
heard from
year
We already talked about this,
CEO, where are we on the charter renewal?
Oh, yeah. That's
Yes, so we already have a team. Usually we collaborate and compile everything that we have accomplishments, I guess.
Yeah,
From the
so
time, the 5 years we have. They're all in the annual report anyway, and the CCR is a matter of just putting it together and making sure that, again, that the next one is making sure that maybe we have to put back again the pre-K or the charter.
Yes, yes,
one.
that's a good idea. Just make sure that we're on top with the charter.
So
school
when we
because
have,
our charter expired 2023,
yes,
so we gotta get all the raw data right now to
Yes.
support your renewal. As I said, the audit is going, so you only have 2 reasons to survive: charter school operation, its audit, and your renewal. of your
that's
charter
why it's
school.
always here on top,
Accreditation.
because this reminds me that this is ongoing. But the team already is
Working on it.
starting
Okay,
working on
that's
it.
nice to know. Okay,
Yes.
let's go. Okay, what else do we have?
I think
That's it. That's
we
it.
covered everything already.
Okay.
We're done all the way to
Are we
the
supposed to
conferences.
executive session?
Oh my God.
I don't have any item for the executive
Yeah,
session.
there's none.
You have any item for executive session, sir? You want to go back to sleep, right? I know.
No,
sir.
but I'm just wondering, how much have we agreed upon per student, all the charter school?
We submitted a 7,500, I think, for our position for
75.
all the charter school, but the budget is
Okay.
still being the budget's still being
Still
discussed in the
ongoing?
legislature right now. Yes.
But they were saying that from the article, it's most likely 7,000 only.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
What article?
Not
The
7.5.
one I shared with you.
Yeah.
With
It's on the newspaper.
Yeah.
So we just need to lobby with our senators because everything
Sure.
is high now.
Yeah, Rosie?
Yes, I've been lobbying, so we're gonna lobby. Very responsive. If Selena Delta said yes, she's gonna support the 7.5, you're pushing for 7.5. So I met him on our rally and I don't forget what you promised us.
Yeah.
We're all gonna follow through with Jack. I'm gonna continue to follow through with that.
Thank you, Trustee Rosie. Okay, so
Yeah, thank you.
we just wait for the Budget Act to be passed. When the Budget Act is passed, all the agencies of Guam, including our charter schools, will be included on how much
Okay.
disbursement or how much will be our own budget for fiscal year 23, 24. Yeah. Okay, so I need a motion to adjourn.
So, I second it.
Okay, thank you. Motion to adjourn by Trustee Lou, seconded by Trustee Arquiza at, what time is it now? 2:30. Thank you very much, trustees.
Partner,
Go to sleep, sir.
stay
Stay
safe.
safe.
Stay safe.
Yeah, I'm getting sleepy.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Recording
Thank you.
stopped.
Thank you, Trustee Rosie.
Yeah, but in
Thanks.
Chukis we say